into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning to you, Mzansi. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Hump Day. Guess what? It's the last Wednesday before we reach Easter. Yes, my name is Jamie Domberg, reporting live for duty. And as I said, we are approaching the final days leading up to Easter, and we are continuing to bring you a chocolate-filled show. It's going to be so yummy. From exploring the thrill of the treasure hunt for kids with our very own Nikki Bush to finding out which marshmallow best describes you. Are you yummy? Are you juicy? Are you fuzzy? All of that is going to be happening in the show today. Then, of course, we have gospel singer Trevor Malchus is spreading that Easter cheer with his soulful vocals. It's always good to have Trevor with us. And did you think that was all we have? Well, no, absolutely not. There's so much more happening in the kitchen. Well, get this. We are making some peanut butter muffins, some bacon crispy rice nests. That's not all. Sun-dried tomato and onion quiche, Ruben Riffle's easy chicken pasta, and of course we are making some spiced orange syrup cake. My mouth is just watering thinking of all that yummy foods, and all of that recipes is going to be available for you on expressoshow.com. And I know someone who can't wait to sink their teeth into the 3 hours of the show is this beautiful man over here. Good morning, G-Man.
Thank you, Jamie. Now, I can't think about anything other than food right now. In fact, I'm going to cleanse my palate just very quickly. An amazing menu on the way. So I hope you are feeling refreshed and ready to embrace this day. It's going to be an awesome one. Yes, you can start getting excited about Easter. I know all the long weekends and all the public holidays kind of throwing the work week into a bit of a craze, but this is about family and an opportunity to reconnect. So here's the big question. We want to know from you this morning. Are you planning to go away this Easter long weekend? Are you going to go and give yourself a bit of breathing room? Or are you going to stay home and just spend it with the fam and connect with the people that you love? What are you going to be doing? What's got you excited about this Easter long weekend? Please let us know. Start the conversation right now on our social media platforms. You can find us, the Expresso Morning Show on Facebook, at Expresso Show is the handle to use. And just start spreading that Easter cheer and love this morning. We would love to hear from you. But of course, we've got some official duties to get through first. So let's connect once again with those news headlines. Jamie's going to do the honors.
Thank you so much, G. I'll start on the national front this morning. Now, it's been a harrowing 48 hours for people in KZN, particularly in eThekwini. Mind-boggling drone footage shows the devastating impact of a landslide at Umdloti on the north coast, where an entire apartment buildings are reported to have collapsed. Entire bridges have also been washed away, and homes and well-traveled roads have been swallowed by sinkholes. Some 45 lives have been lost, and the death toll is expected to rise. Damage caused is estimated at more than R1 billion. Meanwhile, a level 9 warning from the South African Weather Service was in place for eThekwini and Ugu last night. And more news on the KZN floods in our weather news. Then, staying on the local front, the United Nations in South Africa has expressed concern over the violent attacks on foreigners. The UN's response follows the death of Zimbabwean citizen Elvis Nyati, who was killed in Diepsloot. The world body says it's unfortunate that this is happening in a country with one of the most comprehensive constitutions in the world. The UN emphasized that the human rights of all persons in South Africa must be respected. The UN has also called on the South African government to ensure that foreigners feel safe in the country. Then, looking to news further abroad, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reached out to the African Union, the AU, for support against Russia's aggression and requested to address the continental organization. Zelensky called as Senegalese President Macky Sall on Monday, and the conversation touched on an AU statement in February that called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to negotiations. Sall is the current president of the AU, and African nations have showed disunity in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Sall acknowledged Zelensky's request to address the AU. Then Boris Johnson has been fined by the police for attending a birthday party thrown for him during the COVID-19 lockdown. The UK Prime Minister confirmed he had paid the fine for going to the hour-long gathering in the Cabinet Room on the 19th of June 2020. Chancellor Rishi Sunak has also been fined, and the Prime Minister's wife, Carrie Johnson, confirmed she had paid a fine relating to the same event. Boris Johnson apologized but said he would not resign because of the incident. Then an Egyptian swimmer who lost his leg in a motorcycle accident has set 2 Guinness World Records for swimming underwater after taking only a single breath. Omar Hegazi, 31, swam more than 56 meters underwater after taking a single breath and then backed it up by swimming another 77 meters, again after only inhaling once using fins. Now, in doing so, he has earned the world records for the longest distance swim underwater with 1 breath and the longest distance underwater with fins after only inhaling once. Now, Hegazi lost his left leg when he was 25 years old. He was riding his motorcycle when he struck a pothole and was flung under an oncoming truck. Hegazi says that after his accident, swimming helped him to deal with his anger and frustration, and was also where he says he felt free and capable. He says he's hoping his records will now inspire others to overcome any obstacles. On that inspiring note, that is where I leave your 6 o'clock news headlines. We will be back on the top of the hour, but right now it's time to have a first look at the sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Let's kick it off with football. And he's done it again. Karim Benzema's extra-time header sent Real Madrid into the Champions League semi-finals, despite holders Chelsea fighting back with a 3-2 second-leg win in Spain last night. So Chelsea, who were trailing 3-1 after that first game at Stamford Bridge, turned the quarter-final on its head with goals from Mason Mount, Antonio Rudiger and Timo Werner. But Rodrigo's 80th minute volley forced an added half an hour, and then Benzema headed home to grab a 5-4 aggregate triumph. Then Samuel Chukwueze scored a late winner and that was in their tie as Villarreal stunned Bayern Munich again to reach the semi-finals for the first time in some 16 years. Unai Emery masterminded a 1-0 first leg win in Spain, but a dominant Bayern looked in control once Robert Lewandowski broke the deadlock in the 52nd minute. That was before Chukwueze levelled matters in the 88th minute to give Villarreal a very rare 2-1 aggregate win. Then staying with footballing news, they put up a brave fight, but Banyana, despite that hard fight, were ultimately undone 5-1 by, it must be said, a technically superior 5th-ranked Netherlands in The Hague last night. So the Oranje were on the front foot in the early stages, and Jackie Groenen gave them the lead in the 12th minute with a cracking strike from the edge of the box that went off the crossbar. Then Temi Kgatlana, she levelled matters in the 25th minute with a beautiful left-footed strike across goal into that bottom corner. And Lenneth Berenstein scored the hosts' lead goal before Vivian Midema made it 3-1 before half-time, and then Damaris Egarola added 2 more goals in the final 20 minutes to secure that dominant win. Then on to the tennis courts we return, and world number 1 Novak Djokovic will be rueing his return. He went down to a shock defeat by Alejandro Davidovich Fokina on his return to the ATP Tour at the Monte Carlo Masters. So Djokovic was playing in his first tournament since February this year after missing the US hardcourt swing because of obviously restrictions over his COVID-19 vaccination status. And then Davidovich Fokina won 6-3, 6-7 and 6-1 to reach the 3rd round. Then our defending champion Stefanos Tsitsipas, he eased into the next 16 with a 6-3, 6-love victory. That was over Fabio Fognini, who won the title back in 2019. And then Taylor Fritz, the only player to beat Rafa Nadal this year en route to that trophy at Indian Wells last month. He overcame wildcard favourite Lucas Katarina 6-7, 7-6 and 6-4. And then finally, it's been settled. Let's turn to the Commonwealth Games. The 2026 Commonwealth Games have been officially awarded to the Australian state of Victoria. So it'll mark the 6th time the Games have been hosted in Australia, but in fact the first time that a state or region has been awarded the multi-sport event. So the 2026 Commonwealth Games will be staged across several cities, including Melbourne, which hosted the 2006 Games. Then 16 sports have been confirmed on the initial program, with up to 7 more set set to be added, which is really exciting. And Australia's Gold Coast hosted the last edition of the Games back in 2018. The 2022 Games will take place in Birmingham, from the 28th of July to the 8th of August this year. Well, that's where we leave our sporting roundup for now. We'll touch on those headlines again in about an hour or so. Right now, let's get an update on some pretty intense weather here in South Africa, some of the temperatures you can expect today.
Thank you so much, G, for that sports update. On the weather front, though, the floods in KwaZulu-Natal have claimed an almighty death toll, with more than 45 people having lost their lives due to extreme weather conditions. Now, there have been disturbing images of gushing torrents of water destroying homes and public infrastructure, buildings crumbling, roads flooded and damaged, and train services suspended. Many schools are closed and weather records have been shattered across the province. The scale of downpours has been quite uncanny. Now, these disastrous conditions beg the question, were these weather conditions a direct result of climate change? Well, the South African Weather Service says the answer isn't quite black and white, and there's no straightforward way to put it. The Weather Service further states that although the KZN floods cannot be solely blamed on climate change, events similar to these in KZN are happening more often because of it. In other words, global warming is now intensifying the frequency of our extreme weather patterns, even if it didn't directly cause the event itself. And of course, our thoughts and prayers are with all our fellow South Africans in these affected areas. On a lighter note, we move from weather news to sunrise views as we share some of the sunrise views seen around the country by you, our lovely viewers. Now, Ferris Kluti kicks off our morning with this beautiful view overlooking the area, showing off the stunning transition of the sky from night to day. And then another one came through from Geraldine Flatwell from Fishhoek, who shared this fresh morning shot overlooking the ocean as the day begins, showing the sun bright in the sky. And that is how you celebrate Hump Day here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. That being said, let me get you geared up for this Wednesday with those temperatures. For you, Polokwane, do expect a low of 13 that will peak at 26. If you do find yourself in Umbombela today, do expect a range of 18 to 32. For you, Pretoria, partly cloudy conditions are expected, ranging from 13 to 23, as well as Johannesburg. For you, it is a low of 11 and a high of 22. Mahikeng, 10:25. For you, Klerksdorp, it is 9:24, as well as Kimberley can be seen with a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 25. For you, Bloemfontein, 7:23 is your temperatures for today. Richards Bay as well can be seen with a low of 19 and a high of 29. If you're out and about in Pietermaritzburg, do expect a range of 13 to 26, as well as Durban, your low is 19 and a high of 28. Mthatha, for you, it is 12:24. East London ranging from 16 to 24, and then Cradock can be seen with a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 28. Gqeberha, for you, it is 16:24. George can be seen with a range of 15 to 23. And if you do find yourself in the mother city, Cape Town today, do expect a low of 16 and a high of 22. For you, Worcester, it is 12:29. Sutherland, 7:23. And last but definitely not least, Uppington, ranging from 13 to 30. Well, that is where I leave your first weather update here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
So we're going to take the quickest of little breathers right now, then we're going to get back in the kitchen. We're going to whip up some beautiful peanut butter muffins, something healthy, delicious, and they're going to see you through the morning at least. And then it's all about the Easter egg hunt. And yes, it's not just about eating loads of chocolate and having a lot of fun. There's some incredible little life lessons to be learned. And of course, Nikki Bush is going to show us exactly how to do it. We'll see you for that and a whole lot more deliciousness in just a moment. right, listen up. It's time to let the hunt begin in Easter's most exceptional game. We want you to claim your digital beacon Easter bunnies when you scan the QR code and download it today. These digital bunnies are awesome. They're collectible, they're tradable, and yes, they're a whole lot of fun.
Now remember that as with all good things, there's only a limited number to give away. So grab yours now and don't miss out on all the fun. Let the hunt begin.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso, live on S3. And with Easter on the horizon, Easter egg hunts create an opportunity for plenty of good old-fashioned family fun and, of course, creation of warmth, fuzzy memories. And this morning, we chat to human potential and parenting expert Nikki Bush about the thrill of the treasure hunt for kids.
Ooh, you know what? Easter is one of my favorites, especially when the Easter Bunny came to visit. But Nikki, what is it about Easter that kids in general love so much?
I think it's the hunt. It's the hunt for treasure. It's the surprise. It's the fact that mum or dad has invested time hiding things for them to go and find. So there's this sense of quality time, intentional connection. It's like hide and seek. Kids love hide and seek. So, you know, you can actually hide anything. It doesn't have to be Easter eggs. You could have a shape game, for example, and go and hide the shapes in the room, and they will just love that. But it's that connection of parent and child in the same moment.
And that's so important that you mentioned that. It's about the investment of time. Basically, the kid sees that, you know, you as a parent, you've taken that time to make something exciting for them. And I think that exchange, it's quite important in a world where a lot of the hunting happens on its social media or on their little devices. So in what kind of settings can you actually create a very fun and engaging Easter egg hunt?
Carl, I just want to pick up on what you said about so much hunting happens online.
Yes.
That's exactly why children like being online, because it's like a scavenger hunt. It's like an amazing race where they're uncovering different things in different places, in different environments, albeit virtual. And so remember that. Kids love the whole concept of a treasure hunt. In fact, when I do social media talks, I talk about the treasure hunt. So let's go to the real world now.
Yeah.
Where can you create this kind of a treasure hunt with those lovely marshmallow Easter eggs? Because they're all packaged nicely, you know, you can throw them into the garden. So if you do have a garden, that's a great place to go and hide things. Just remember how many you put out there so that you can tell each child, especially if you have, say, 2 or 3 children, you can only collect 10 each.
Yeah.
Otherwise, one child might get all 30. So they need their little bucket. They need to go out into the garden. They need to look under, you know, leaves and plants and behind things. But some people don't have a garden. So we need to also accommodate people who don't have the big rolling garden, which is quite unusual these days. And you may be in an apartment. So you can get your kids to stand outside the front door while you hide the eggs throughout the house in different rooms, you know, under furniture, under cushions, behind the TV, for example. And then when they come back in, you can play hotter, colder, hotter, colder. You know, as they're looking around the house, you can give them clues. Yes, getting warm, oh, very, very hot. You know, once again, it's that paying attention to your child in that moment that is going to create that bonding. One other place that I was thinking would be really fun for an Easter egg hunt is actually your car.
Oh.
But each child could have a couple of minutes in the car, and you'd obviously have to have a changeover so that you could hide more eggs for the next child. But think about it. One in the cubby hole, one under the seat, one in that little back pocket behind the driver's seat. You know, you can find all sorts of places to hide an Easter egg in a vehicle. You could have them on top of the wheels, behind a wheel. So they've actually got to move their bodies up, over, under, around. Once again, movement makes things exciting. So, you know, I thought a car might be quite a fun place in which to have an Easter egg hunt. Even your child's own bedroom would be a place. I've done this not just with Easter eggs, but with sweets during a play date. When my kids have had play dates and kids have come over, where I've hidden things in the bedroom. You see, it's just that element of surprise that's a real win.
And there's a thrill to it. I had a good giggle when you said, just remember how many eggs you put out, because we were 7 cousins close in age growing up, and we would go treasure hunting, and then there just weren't enough eggs for everyone. It just never added up, so we always lost an egg or 2 along the route.
And also you need to write down where you put the stuff, because it was about a week ago I found an Easter egg I'd hidden in 2021 for my nephew, my godchild, when I did a bit of a treasure hunt thing. So it's important, dear parents, make a note of where you hide stuff, otherwise you'll find it a year later.
Yes. Nikki, what can we do? I mean, when it comes to the Easter weekend, the weather is always so unpredictable. But if it's maybe too hot to put Easter eggs in the garden?
Okay, so something that you can do is things like poker chips, those plastic poker chips. In the old days, we used to have bottle tops, but anything that's not going to melt in the rain or the sun, you could go and hide poker chips out in the garden, and they can go and gather the poker chips and then come back inside and exchange those for Easter eggs. And I remember going to a friend's child's birthday party once, and she cut up pieces of paper, white pieces of paper, and she scattered them all over the garden. And the children had to literally go and find pieces of paper and bring them back and exchange them for the treasure. So you can do any manner of things, even butter beans. Butter beans, you know, you get that packet of big butter beans, scattering those all over the garden and getting kids to go and collect those and then swap them out would work as well.
Amazing.
And you know, there's actually another little thing that I've tried before, Nikki, and I'm not sure if you agree with this, but you know, with those smaller puzzles with less pieces, if you can hide those around, and some of them are quite robust.
Pieces.
Yeah, that's it. And you can actually hide them around. The first person to find them all and also complete their puzzle will get sort of the loot, so to speak, which I really enjoyed as well. So
cool.
There's so many cool ways of doing this. Thank you.
What you could do then,
yes,
you know, if it's, say, like a 12-piece puzzle.
Yes, that's it.
And maybe, and the first person to build it, they all get their 12 Easter eggs, but the first person to build the puzzle gets a bonus.
That's so cool.
That is amazing. Well, listen, we've got more to unpack with you, Nikki Bush. Please don't go anywhere, as we will be continuing on our treasure hunt with Nikki Bush in just a bit, so stay tuned with us.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Nikki Bush. Of course, we're back in the kitchen, and if you love easy recipes that include peanut butter, then you will go absolutely nuts about our peanut butter muffins. Now, they're a great addition to kids' lunchboxes and for those morning tea time breaks. And Chef Tumi shows us just how easy they come together, and I know the kids are going to love this.
I don't think you pronounced it right. You were supposed to say peanut butter muffin.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Okay, peanut butter.
Okay, but friend, do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man, the Muffin. Obviously, is it a musical show? One day we should just come in, and we always say this. One day we should just come in and it should be a musical show.
Deliver the whole
sing
show
everything like
in song. I think why not?
I'll be Annie.
And on that note, we shall mix our ingredients. Ta-da-da! As the birds sing in the background.
Okay, so what are the ingredients?
Simple, easy, like you mentioned. It starts off with a vanilla mix, a vanilla cake mix. So you can, whatever flavor you choose, you can definitely still use the peanut butter for this. So let's just say you've chosen to go with chocolate cake mix. You can also do that. I'm not too sure about the birthday cake mix because of the
no, I think stay away from the birthday cake mix.
Dude, I mean, get adventurous, because then you can also put some sprinkles on top. So,
yeah,
I mean,
each to their own, whatever.
Each to their own. We're having this conversation on camera right now. To each their own. But it's a basic, simple recipe. We've got our vanilla cake mix here, and then we've got our wet mix here. And our wet ingredients start off with our eggs. But the one twist that we've added here, because most times when you're buying a vanilla cake mix, they don't incorporate any other ingredients besides perhaps the eggs, the milk, and the oil. But we say, zhuzh it up a bit, add your own flavor. Faggy peanut butter.
Hey, peanut butter.
Well, peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
I mean, why not? It adds an additional protein, it's flavorful, and why not?
This is the hero ingredient, and of course we know that Clover Go Nut smooth peanut butter is made with 90% choice-grade peanuts perfectly grounded to create the smoothest, most spreadable peanut butter that is perfect for lunches, snacks, and smoothies as well. Now, if you want to go nuts, you can also add some choc chips and peanuts to the batter for a crunchy texture, because, I mean, that would also be elevating this recipe.
Definitely.
Not just a vanilla cake mix.
Definitely.
No.
Add those crushed peanuts into the dry mix, and then once you mix everything together, and then you just fold it in together. So I've added our peanut butter into here. What I've done before is I've made sure to mix the eggs and the peanut butter first, so that it's already incorporated and you don't have big lumps of peanut butter, which wouldn't be a problem. I mean, it really wouldn't be a problem, but I'm just saying, Gucci, unless you want to bite into a whole chunk of peanut butter.
Which is also, again, not a bad thing.
Not a bad
We want it to be smooth. We want the peanut butter to be well spread out.
Because we also want it to infuse into the whole muffin. We don't want to eat one part that's just vanilla and the other part. When we say vanilla muffin, we mean, peanut butter muffin. We want
Must be peanut butter everywhere.
All right, and then into our wet mix, I'm adding our dry. And then we're now just going to fold everything together. And like you mentioned, Jamie, at this point, if you wanted to add any of those choc chips and stuff, this is where you'd add them into the dry mix. And now we just fold everything together. And then once it's fully incorporated, we put these babies into the oven to bake. I'm going to say between 30 to 35 minutes, depending on your oven. Some people say 40 minutes. That's quite a while. So between 20 to 25, depending on your oven, at 180 degrees. Watch those babies. Stick a skewer into them. Make sure it comes out nice and clean.
I was just going to ask now, the skewer trick. We should probably try incorporating the skewer trick here, right? Pop it in the center. Make sure that it is clean when it comes out, and that's how you know that the muffins are good to go.
Unless you've not mixed it in fully, then you'll stick it in there, and then you'll have some peanut butter coming out, which means you can just lick the stick, and then try again later.
I think that Zoe would agree with me. You should leave it just a little bit underdone so that when you do bite into it, you still have that fusion of that melted peanut butter.
Or if you really, really, really want that peanut butter, let me do this. I want to show you a trick. Tata loco. Tata spoon. Fag peanut butter. Telepezul. Bake this baby up.
You know, the kids will go nuts about them, but you know who also go completely nuts is Mr. Tabiso.
Mr. Sweet Tooth himself.
Mr. Sweet Tooth himself, come here, come taste in here. We made this for the kids,
Man,
for the lunch boxes.
What are we talking about?
You can't eat this one on that side, my baby, right?
Oh, okay.
He would eat the
cake.
No, listen, I might just, don't tempt me. Ooh, this looks so good. And I love, you know what I love? I love that already the muffin looks so scrumptious on its own. It's got this sheen on it, sheen to it. Ooh, the smell of peanut butter.
In the morning, it is hot and it's freshly baked. What do you think?
And he does that. I was waiting for that. That's my stamp of
That's the
approval
peanut
anytime.
butter there. That's the peanut butter there.
I mean.
Well done.
If you want to dance like Uncle Tabsy, then you want to go on to our website, expressoshow.com. You can get the recipe right there, of course, the full list of ingredients. And then maybe you can also go peanut butter.
Peanut butter muffins.
Loxo. Dance, Teresa.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. That you'll be brave and joyful and kind. And that one day, when you look at me and I look at you, we'll love the wonderful you that you've become. It all begins with purity.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are continuing our conversation with human potential and parenting expert Nikki Bush about creating good memories for the kids with Easter egg hunts. Oh, I'm so excited for the Easter weekend.
Exactly. There's so much excitement going around and so much innovation you can add to it as well. So, Nikki, just to bring you back in, how can you turn an Easter egg hunt into a treasure hunt or an amazing race for perhaps older children who feel that they've outgrown the Easter egg hunt?
You know, I don't think kids ever outgrow the Easter egg hunt. Never. I was on holiday recently with some 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds. And in fact, it was the 13-year-old big sister who turned the Easter egg hunt into a scavenger hunt. And she created clues. And it was walk outside the front door, turn right, walk 10 paces, turn left, and at that tree, look for the Easter egg. So she was literally mapping. She had mapped the whole environment. It was actually in the bush. And so she had these kids walking around the patio, walking up onto rocks, walking down into the veld to trees. And she had gone out in the morning and hidden these eggs. And it was so creative and just a lovely way of keeping the tradition running because they have such fond memories of Easter, will get on board and do these things. And then you can actually create parties out of a treasure hunt. And I think that's worth talking about.
So cool.
Most definitely. I mean, I'm thinking now, you know, the concept of an Easter egg hunt is something I used to love as a child. But you know what? What is it about it that's so enticing for children?
It's the hunt, it's the secret, it's the surprise, it's the connection, it's the togetherness. And I actually hauled out a scavenger hunt that my dad did when I was, I think I was like 15. So you really can carry these on. And I've done scavenger hunts for adults as well. And it's just such fun because you can mix up words like the road was Glenloose and he said left into Lenkugel. And you had to do the anagram and work it out. And we did this in cars, where we had adults driving, 4 kids at a time in each different car. And we had these lists, and I've got them here, literally. We had these lists of clues that we had to follow. And so you have to solve the puzzle, and we actually are problem solvers at heart. So let's give our kids a challenge this Easter to help them have fun on the hunt.
Oh, I love that.
It is. And I think that, you know, we don't need to hunt for family time when we can create a moment like this, which is so, so important. Now, how can you turn a treasure hunt into a high-impact birthday party concept? Because I'm hearing that you've got lists in front of you. I think like an amazing race type of thing could actually be possible to actually amp up a birthday party.
Yes, so the one that we did for my son, we actually took the kids from, we were in the northern suburbs, and we took them in cars to the Cradle of Mankind. And on the way, we planted things that they had to collect. So, you know, the local cafe, they had to go in and we'd given them money and they had to go and buy ice lollies, for example. And the cafe owner knew exactly what was going to happen at around approximately what time. So he had all the ice lollies ready in the fridge. I've even known parents who have literally frozen things in ice blocks and left them at shops for kids to collect. Then they've got to use a hammer and a screwdriver to get what's inside because that's the next clue. Or even things like fortune cookies. You can hide clues inside fortune cookies. So they've got to stop at the local Chinese restaurant and go and collect the fortune cookie to find the next clue. How exciting. What a lot of fun. It costs nothing but a little bit of creativity, imagination, and a tiny little bit of time. But these are the birthday parties that kids remember forever.
Your birthday's next.
Yes,
Would
yes.
you be keen for something like that?
Of course I'm keen. You know that I've always heard about these things like the hint hunts and all of those sorts of things, and I think that this is a great way. More importantly, with your kids, having that type of ingenuity in your home, it rubs off on them. They start being more creative themselves, and I think we need more creative kids that are not fed too many things from the internet, but are creating more, and that's what this entire concept does, which I'm very, very excited about. Nikki?
This is interesting, Carl. What you say here is so important. My youngest son is studying landscape architecture, and this is exactly what he's having to do with landscape design, is to create an environment where people can discover things around every turn.
Wow.
So I think this has stood him in good stead for that.
You've definitely prepared him for that. Nikki, it's always so great to catch up with you. Thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure, and a happy Easter, everybody.
Thank you. That was Nikki Bush, and for more information, you can pick up the conversation with Nikki on her Parenting Matters Facebook page. Oh, that was incredible.
It was indeed. So don't hunt for family time, just create it this Easter.
All right, so now that we've inspired you to go out and get hunting, we need the eggs to actually hunt. And I think chocolate eggs are a staple in any Easter basket. Obviously, there are so many different kinds of chocolate Easter eggs to pick from. That's where it gets intense. Do you go small or large? Do you go solid or hollow? Do you go milk or dark? Or do you go mallow? I don't know. And if you're the one who's going to be picking out the Easter basket for your family, then you only want to give them the absolute best, which is exactly why we guys asked you guys to let us know what kind of an Easter egg are you?
What kind, hey?
Hey, because you can pretty much divide the world into two streams.
No, you really can. And it's
Marshmallow?
not a difficult one because, no, but then we can't divide the world into two streams if we're the same thing.
We can't polarize. Now, I can guarantee you I'm not a mallow. Right?
Okay, cool.
I'm a white candy egg. For sure.
Look at
Till the
you
end of
for
days,
sure.
man. I love it.
Marshmallow, hard on the outside, and when you crack me open, gooey like a chewy chum chum chum.
I love it.
Now, the
I'm
problem is,
same.
after we did that chubby bunny thing and I put 9 of them in my mouth, and that's
where you
Online,
decided.
got
I know, I think there were only like 3 in the end there. I don't know. But let's see what the people have said. How are you guys feeling about your Easter eggs?
Yeah, so these comments came through on our social media, and this one is from Missy. She says, just going to hide a few Easter eggs around the yard for my son, just to make him happy. Nothing extravagant, love that. And then, okay, Scott, the second says, definitely going to speed it with my family, doing Easter hunt with Easter eggs in the garden, and have a lovely weekend. And then Queen Sona also said, not much, but we'll be home. Change of plans due to the weather, so being local and around will do me good. Of course, I'll be indulging into Beacon chocolate-coated eggs.
I love that. I love that people have thought about what they're going to be doing because it's one of those, you don't want to keep it the same every year. You know what I mean?
You have to
Yeah,
change
and this
it up.
year I think
switch it up.
we've earned the right to do something a little different this year, I think.
That's it. That is
Yeah,
it. Okay, one more comment. This one from Bruce. Bruce says...
Ruth.
Ruth.
says,
Ruth,
the
yeah.
little ones in the fam wants a map, just like an ad seen
I
on
love
TV,
that.
and that's what is going to be fun for them. Okay.
Yeah,
she's
following
getting
Nikki's
creative.
advice. That's
Ruth.
brilliant.
Jessica also said, we'll be having a mini Easter egg hunt this year at home. And then Suzanne also says, definitely Beacon, let the hunt begin. Ooh, the hunt is definitely going to begin.
Yeah, I mean, for the purposes of the hunt, you need both kinds, okay? So, because the mallow eggs are great to hide, and you can obviously buy them in bulk, and a little goes a very long way.
Yeah.
Then you have 1 or 2 kind of slightly bigger eggs or bunnies in the mix, and then you reward yourself as the parent with the white Easter eggs.
How did I know that somehow this was going to end up there, with the parent wanting to get in on the action?
And you got to do, we were talking about yesterday, you got to do the white lipstick. So you got to have white lips after,
First,
and then you got to
that's
wear it down. You can't just bite it.
Yeah.
And I always tell myself, you're going to wear it down, but then I end up biting it anyway and eating the whole thing.
No, you can't help it. But listen up, Zanzi, let's get the hunt beginning because you can claim your share of some really fantastic digital bunnies. They are there for you to take advantage of.
Yeah, man, and it's pretty simple. All you got to do is scan the QR code and download it today. And these digital bunnies, as we've said, they're collectible, they're tradable, and they are bucket loads of fun. And remember that as with all good things, there is only a limited number to get your hands on. Think of it as like an NFT, okay? So grab yours now and don't miss out on all the fun. In fact, you can turn it into an NFT when you get it and then sell it on, maybe. I don't know, because you can. But they're a huge amount of fun and a limited time offer. So get on it and have a little extra Easter fun, but most importantly, let the hunt begin.
Extra egg.
Haven't eaten one egg yet, eh?
No.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right now, I'm going to speak to parents, and particularly parents who are dealing with children that are teething right now. Ding, 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 ding. Alarm bells ringing out. Teething is a process that all babies have to go through, and all parents as well as a result. And this can sometimes be quite painful for the little ones as their teeth actually break or cut through their gums, and it can cause a lot of irritation. You can imagine that itching. So as a parent, it's often very difficult to know what to do to make babies at least a little bit more comfortable during this vital teething phase. And back again to give us some tips to help parents through teething is pediatrician and allergist Professor Claudia Gray. Prof, welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you.
You keep taking me back. I thought I'd just gotten out of this phase of life, and now I've got to go right back there.
Maybe for the next one.
Yeah, don't even joke, okay? But it can be heartbreaking because your little one goes through so much, but it's a natural process. So when does the teething process really kick in? And explain to us what's going on in that little mouth and what can it result in terms of their experience of life through that phase?
Sure. So I think it's quite a miserable experience for both baby and parents.
And parents, yeah.
You know, the milk teeth break through sometime between 4 months and 2.5 years. We've got 20 milk teeth to erupt, so it's quite a lot of teething for those little kids. And as you say, these sharp little things erupt through the gum. And I always say to parents, it's like it's the feeling of having a gum ulcer or a mouth ulcer. So it's sore, it's irritating. And the little kids present often with irritability, so they're more fussy or clingy, drooling of the mouth.
There's always snot for some reason.
Sometimes there's a little bit of mucus. Yeah. They can have a low-grade fever, but not a fever over 38. That's not teething.
That's not teething.
They can have slightly loose stools, but once again, not watery diarrhea. That's not teething. And often they have a reduced appetite and are generally just clingy and miserable. And then they start putting everything into the mouth to soothe those gums.
And again, we just, take a moment to think about yourself when you've got a tooth issue or something wrong with your mouth or you're feeling like that. You are absolutely miserable. Thankfully, there are a couple of things that we can do to ease it, and some of them are not that complicated. Sometimes they just need something cold to put that little gum on or something. But what should we be doing to alleviate that irritation and that pain if we can?
So in children, we always say safety comes first.
Sure.
So don't use anything too herbal or experimental, because sometimes those things do more harm than good. So keeping it simple, first of all, just allowing your baby to chew or on a clean finger, on your own clean finger, rubbing the gum. As you say, cold objects, so a teething ring that you've put in the fridge.
Exactly.
Sometimes even a face cloth, a nice clean face cloth that you've put in the freezer, and they can gum on that. Every now and again, well, quite commonly actually, children get so miserable that you think, oh no, I really need to do more with this little child. They're not eating, they're not sleeping, we're not sleeping, we are miserable. And generally the process for every tooth takes about 10 days. So they start gumming, and then you see the little tooth coming through, and then finally it's through a few days later. So sometimes we need systemic or oral treatment as well to take the edge off.
Step in paracetamol. What are the guidelines? You took us through your your equation yesterday. Does the same kind of idea apply, or how should we be looking at this level of pain management in our little ones when it comes to teething?
So I always say for fevers and illness, you're going to need something like paracetamol very regularly in the first few days, so 6 hourly, sometimes even 4 hourly. But for teething, I generally advise that you don't give it quite as regularly, because then you could always be having your kid on some kind of pain medication. So rather keep it to 2 to 3 doses a day, and you can maybe have a slightly lower dose. So I gave you the equation yesterday, 0.6 mils per kilo, and I was thinking on the way in the car, that's way too complicated. So let's say for teething, rather take your baby's weight and divide it by 2. Okay, so if you've got an 8-kilo baby, about 4-5 mils will be fine. But generally for teething, give a dose in the evening if they're really struggling through the night, and maybe 1 dose during the day or 2 doses, but not as regularly as the febrile sick child.
Okay. And the nice thing is, because it tastes nice in this form, it becomes a pleasurable experience for them, and getting them used to taking medicine, it does help you so much in the long run. For me, it was all about frozen fruits, so like freezing strawberries and things like that. Thankfully, George has cut all of her teeth now, but the joy is then you get to see that one gorgeous little tooth sticking out when it eventually does break through.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'm glad you highlighted the fact that this is something that babies and parents go through, because it can be quite a thing. Any last advice for parents that are going through this teething journey with their little ones to keep them a little happier and a bit more comfortable?
Yeah, so the babies are fretful during this time. They'll need lots of tender, loving care. You may have to even adapt their feeding schedule. Some kids go off solids, some kids go off milk. So give them what they prefer during that time. Keep their pain under control. Realize that it's actually a very painful process.
Just imagine it's in your own mouth.
Imagine if it's in your own mouth. These are the milk teeth. And as I say, just when you think you're over it, at 2.5, the last molars come through, premolars come through. But interestingly, our secondary teeth, so when we have our 6-year-olds getting their 6-year molars, it's not a painful process. So this is a short-lived thing for the first 2 years of a baby's life. Keep them comfortable. By all means, keep it safe. So don't give experimental treatment that hasn't been proven to be good. Keep something safe and reliable in your cupboard, and give them doses of oral medications when they need it.
Well, luckily, this has been around that it almost fits into the bracket of like a family tradition. So I get that. And there are some fantastic kind of family traditions in the space passed down, but there are also some hard and fast rules. And if you need to help your baby get through that difficult time, this is definitely the way to go. I would just say, for that next phase of the 6-year-old losing their teeth, discuss with the other parents how much a tooth is worth these days, because I would imagine with petrol rising, things have changed. Prof, thank you so much. I'm now looking forward to those final molars coming through in my 2-year-old. But we can certainly relate and identify if you are going through this. We know it can be quite a stressful time, especially for your little ones. So make sure, along with the paracetamol and whatever else you're doing, lots of cuddles as well.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, maybe you're also looking for a quick and easy Easter dessert or a fun Easter activity to keep the kids busy. These Beacon crispy rice treats, they are a delicious choice. Shaped into little nests and filled with delightful Beacon chocolate nibbles and chocolate bunny mix. Who can say no? Even I will not say no. Chef Tim Mukwa is in the kitchen. We're about to get down to business.
You could never say no because of your sweet tooth.
I could never.
This is a weakness for us.
That is it. And the thing is, what better thing to make than something that can satisfy both the parent and the kids at the same time? And that way, it's a party for all, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and now these crispy rice treats are something that people bake. I'm sure people have seen, like in baking shows and stuff, people make this crispy rice treat, and maybe people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And it starts off with marshmallow, and it's got some butter and some crispy rice in there. And I'm like, how's about you add another dimension?
Okay, cool. So you're taking something that was already so impressive that we've seen so many times on these cooking shows and baking shows, and you're really sort of elevating it, really.
I'm elevating it to a level, you know what? This basically has everything you need in it.
Yeah.
It's got the marshmallow in the center.
Yes.
But then it's got another layer of chocolate. So now you are getting the chocolate flavor.
Yeah.
You are getting the marshmallow, which basically binds it together.
Yeah.
Now, you're not only getting melted chocolate flavors in there, but you're getting the gooiness of that marshmallow and the Easter. So you literally have
it
all in one box.
Okay, listen, you take me back because this, every time I see this box, I remember I used to sell these, and I keep telling the story that I used to stock up on these around this time of the year, and I would buy boxes and boxes of these and sell them. When I tell you that between 8 o'clock in the morning, upon arrival at school, and by the time it's lunchtime, they were gone, girls.
They are gone, girls, because of the fact that most times we buy these and we plan, we're going to eat them on Easter. Come Easter, there's only one left. The box is empty.
Child.
Because they are delicious. They are so
delicious. Okay, let's see the recipe now. Yes, so you're getting that melted chocolate and marshmallow going.
Right. So I've added some butter that was in here, and I've also added our beacon marshmallows in here.
Yeah.
And in essence, what we're doing now is we want to melt it down because this is going to be the binding agent for our crispy rice treats that we're going to put together.
Nice.
So you basically want to make sure, I'm going to lift it up just so you can see that the water is basically barely breaking the surface because we want it to be in a light simmer. You don't want it to be too hot. If it's boiling, remember that we've got chocolate-covered marshmallows here, so the chocolate will seize, and you don't want that.
I did wonder how you were melting that, actually, because I thought you just had the pan, not the pan, the pot there at the bottom, just with nothing in it, which obviously wouldn't be a great idea.
Yeah, so in essence, it's like we're melting the contents in here with the steam coming from the water in here, not with the actual water. The bowl is not even touching the surface.
Okay, great.
The steaming effect is making sure that we're melting the marshmallows and the chocolate. So I'm going to leave that inside here. In essence, what we're trying to do is we want to melt it up to a consistency that allows it to melt it and mix it together with our crispy rice treats here.
Fabuloso.
So in essence, what's going to happen is once this is melted, we get to this level. Because now we are leveling up.
Right.
Because not only are we creating a nest, so I'm going to, in essence, once I've done this, pour this together, pour it into our molds and shape it into that.
So you're creating this out of a bowl?
Out of a bowl in a bowl.
A bowl in a bowl. Okay, great.
Let me just keep mixing this up. So in essence, it's a Easter time, Easter egg hunts and so forth. So this is another dimension because you can also make these and hide them in the house, and anyone that gets them gets the treats in there. You can fill it up with this box in here. So
this
put
is
more
so
treats in the treat.
fantastic. So it's really just switching things up in terms of how you're able to deliver that Easter egg hunt experience. I do love this. Listen, in fact, if you really do want to get this recipe, and I'm sure you do want to get your hands on this recipe, go on to our site. It's expressoshow.com. On there, you'll see really the very simple and easy steps involved in creating this bowl out of a bowl. And it's going to be lots of fun for you to make, number one. But I think number two, lots of fun for the kids to try and find around the house or in the car or in their own bedrooms, as Nikki Bush was giving us those ideas earlier on.
Yeah, so I keep mixing all of this up. Just make sure that before you add the mixture into your bowls that you've greased them. Otherwise, it's going to stick onto there. And the reason why we add the batter, people might be wondering why we add the batter. If you don't, this mixture is going to be dry and it's going to break.
Nobody likes that.
No. And we don't want that. We want to make sure that the marshmallows, the chocolate, everything comes together and it's not too dry, but we want it to still come together. So as you can see, it's coming nicely together. It's folding beautifully, and I'm making sure not to be too rough because I don't want to crush the crispy rice. I just want to basically make sure it comes together.
What's better than the smell of chocolate in the kitchen at any time of the day? Absolutely nothing. I love it. I'm loving everything about this. Okay, cool. So that's going to go in. Now show me how this bowl out of a bowl is created.
We just do this using the back of our spoon, just making the molding nicely here. And that is it. And then I'm just going to keep doing that until we get those beautiful nests.
Fantastic.
And then we fill it up with all these beautiful treats that we've got here.
Okay, well, I'm going to be making one. But while I do that, maybe you go onto our site, expressoshow.com, check it out. Get involved with all of the action. 'Tis the season for the Easter Bunny, and you have the opportunity as parents out there to create the most magical experience for your kiddies out there. Enjoy this one.
Telcom unlimits your world for less. Level up your gaming and find more reasons to share every moment with more data to use your way. Get 20 megabits per second unlimited data for only 599 Rand per month. Do more on your terms and live your Munati with no limits. Call 10213, click telcom.co.za or go to any Telcom shop. Fair usage policy and T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Tabiso, what time is it? It's your feel-good breakfast show time. Welcome back. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3. It's Easter time, and we're asking everybody their plans. We're all getting really excited and gearing up for this, right?
Yeah, man. I'm just that homebody who just wants to do nothing and just be with my kids, which I love. But a lot of people, I think we've earned the right to get out there and explore, do something fun, maybe hit a festival. We wanted to find out from you guys, how are you spending your Easter? What are you going to be getting up to? So let's see what the peeps have got to say.
What do they say?
The OG says, good morning all. I'm starting the Easter weekend with my 77th birthday. Beautiful.
Wow.
Then going to Betty's Bay. So excited. Daphne, there's a reason to be excited. That's wonderful. Well, happy pre-birthday.
When is your birthday, Daphne? Please, I know that you are watching. Let us know when your birthday is. Maybe let's give you an on-air shout-out or a call or a hug, or just dedicate some marshmallows your way. Shireen Abrams says, good morning to the team. Happy Wednesday. Staying at home with my family, my daughter, and 4 other learners from her school. Ooh, you're going to be hosting. They are representing their school in the Maths Olympiad. That's against other schools, which is taking place on the 23rd.
You see, that's a proud mom, eh? Just managed to throw that in there.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, she's like, we're just doing that.
That's the most intelligent person on the planet.
23rd, that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, nice.
Belinda Francis saying, good morning, have a wonderful day and stay safe. Thank you, you too, dear. We homebound family and friends are coming over.
I love that. So, hosting it can be so much fun around this time of the year. The ideas are many and you want to tap into them. Teresa Micah says, good morning, beautiful fam. Church. Apart from that, I will be at home indulging in some of the Expresso Morning Show scrumptious recipes.
Good girl.
Thank you for that. Thumbs up to the show. I never used to enjoy cooking, but now I always look forward to cooking.
100%. Our amazing culinary team have done that to me as well.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
We've learned so much from them and from you guys, actually. It's a two-way flow.
Yeah.
You guys have taught us as much in the kitchen as we have taught you. We love that. We love the ideas, all of them, but connecting with family seems to be the most important thing. So whether you are entering into a Maths Olympiad or
celebrating your 77th,
it doesn't matter, man. It must be a blessed time with family and friends wherever you are. So please keep inspiring us. We want to hear from you. What are you getting up to over the Easter weekend? What are those plans? Inspire us. But right now, let's give you a few talking points for today. Go through some of the latest news headlines, and I'll delve back into the sport.
Thank you so much, boys. 1 minute before 7 o'clock, time to have another look at those news headlines. Starting on the local front, Eskom has announced that load shedding will be extended until Friday morning at 5 o'clock. Eskom said the extended power outages were necessary due to reduced capacity and extended delays in bringing power generating units back online. It said the extension of load shedding was caused by continued delays in returning to service 4 generating units at Camden Power Station and 2 generating units at Tutuka Power Station. Eskom teams are working hard to return as many of these units to service as possible. Then it's been a harrowing 48 hours for people in KZN, particularly in eThekwini. Mind-boggling drone footage shows the devastating impact of a landslide at Umdloti on the north coast, where entire apartment buildings are reported to have collapsed. Entire bridges have also been washed away, and homes and well-traveled roads have been swallowed by sinkholes. Some 45 lives have been lost, and the death toll is expected to rise. Damage caused is estimated at more than R1 billion. Meanwhile, a level 9 warning from the South African Weather Service was in place for eThekwini and Ugu last night. Then looking to news on the international front, Russian President Vladimir Putin says peace talks have reached a dead end after Ukraine made allegations about war crimes. Putin also dismissed the discovery of dead bodies lying in the streets in the Ukrainian town of Bucha as fake and insisted that Russian military's goals in Ukraine were noble. Meanwhile, the US and Britain say they are checking reports that chemical weapons have been used by Russian forces attacking Mariupol. And the UN says some 4.8 million of Ukraine's 7.5 million children have been displaced since the start of the war. Then meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reached out to the African Union, the AU, for support against Russia's aggression and requested to address the continental organization. Zelensky called Senegalese President Macky Sall on Monday, and the conversation touched on an AU statement in Feb that called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to negotiations. Sall is the current president of the AU, and African nations have showed disunity in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Sall acknowledged Zelensky's request to address the AU. Then some news on the entertainment. Mega film star Johnny Depp's fans have pitched up from far and wide outside the courthouse in Fairfax, Virginia in the US, confident that they are going to see their hero's reputation restored. Now, they are there for the defamation trial involving Depp and actress Amber Heard, which is attracting worldwide attention. The fact that Amber Heard's account of assault and abuse was judged to be substantially true in a high-profile trial in London in 2020 has done nothing to dent their faith in his innocence. There are also many of Amber Heard's fans who have travelled from afar and are concerned that her side of the story has not received a fair hearing on social media. The trial will be broadcasted live, and there are high-profile witnesses, including billionaire Elon Musk and actor James Franco for Heard, and British actor Paul Bettany for his friend Depp. Now, there's big money at stake. Depp's suing for $50 million and Heard for some $100 million, and the jury has been warned that the case could take 7 weeks. On that note, that is where I leave your 7 o'clock news headlines. We will be back on the top of the hour for a final wrap-up, but right now, here's another look at the sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, Jamie. It looks like he's done it again. Karim Benzema's extra-time header sent Real Madrid into the Champions League semi-finals. That was despite the holders Chelsea fighting back with a 3-2 second-leg win in Spain last night. So Chelsea, who were trading 3-1 after that first game at Stamford Bridge, turned the quarter-final on its head with goals from Mason Mount, Antonio Rudiger and Timo Werner. But Rodrigo's 80th minute volley forced an added half an hour, and then Benzema headed home to grab that 5-4 aggregate triumph. And elsewhere, Samuel Chukwueze, he scored a late winner in the tie as Villarreal stunned Bayern Munich again to reach the semi-finals for the first time in some 16 years. So Unai Emery, he masterminded a 1-0 first leg win in Spain, but a dominant Bayern looked in control once Robert Lewandowski broke the deadlock in the 52nd minute. That was before Chukwueze levelled matters in the 88th minute to give Villarreal that 2-1 aggregate win. And staying with footballing news, it was a bridge too far for Banyana. They fought hard, but ultimately were outdone 5-1 by, it must be said, a technically superior 5th-ranked Netherlands in The Hague last night. The Oranje were on the front foot in the early stages, and Jackie Groenen gave them the lead in the 12th minute after a cracking strike from just outside of the box that went in off the crossbar. And Temi Kgatlana, she did level matters in the 25th minute with a beautiful left-footed strike across goal into that bottom corner. That was before Lynette Berenstein. She restored the hosts' lead before Vivian Miedema stepped up and made it 3-1. That was just before half-time. And then Damaris Egorola added 2 more goals in the final 20 minutes to seal that victory. Then on to tennis. Not the best comeback, or at least the one he was expecting. World #1 ranked player Novak Djokovic went down to a shock defeat by Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. That was on his return to the ATP Tour at the Monte Carlo Masters yesterday. So Djokovic was playing in his first tournament since February, and that was after missing the US hardcourt swing because of restrictions over his COVID-19 vaccination status. Well, Davidovich Fokina, he won 6-3, 6-7 and 6-1 to reach the 3rd round. Then defending champion Stefanos Tsitsipas, he eased into the last 16 with a 6-3, 6-love victory over Fabio Fognini. He, of course, won the title back in 2019. And then Taylor Fritz, the only player to have beaten Rafa Nadal this year, was en route to the trophy at Indian Wells last month. He overcame home wildcard Lucas Katarina 6-7, 7-6 and 0.64. And then finally, it looks like it's official. The Commonwealth Games for 2026, they have been officially awarded to the Australian state of Victoria. So it'll mark the 6th time that the Games have now been hosted by Australia, but it is the first time, in fact, that a state or region has been awarded the multi-sport event. So the 2026 Commonwealth Games will be staged across several cities, including Melbourne, and it'll be hosted, and they, of course, were the hosts back in 2006. Then 16 sports have been confirmed on the initial roster so far, with up to 7 more set to be added, which is very exciting. Australia's Gold Coast hosted the last edition of the Games back in 2018, and of course the 2022 Games will be taking place in Birmingham from the 28th of July to the 8th of August this year. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this hour. We'll touch on those headlines again at 8. Let's get now a bit of a global weather perspective and some of the temperatures you can expect today.
Thanks very much, Graham. Yes, a global weather perspective. Let's start here. The United Nations says that early warning systems to protect the entire world from extreme weather and climate disasters should be rolled out within 5 years. The World Meteorological Organization will put together a plan on how this can be achieved by November at a cost of some $1.5 billion. Presently, some 1/3 of the global population has no cover, and in Africa, 60% of the population is unprotected. Last year, when Hurricane Ida made landfall in Louisiana, it was the 5th strongest such storm to hit the U.S. But thanks to early warnings, tens of thousands of people were evacuated and overall deaths were less than 100. In contrast, Cyclone Idai, which hit southern Africa in 2019, claimed about 1,000 lives in Mozambique, Malawi and Zimbabwe. And while warnings were issued, the dissemination of information was not effective. Weather-related extreme events due to climate change have gone up 5-fold over the past half-century. Now, that's something to be paying attention to. Now, next we move to a little more of a positive note. We look at our skies and we showcase the sunrise images that were captured by you, our beautiful viewers, our amazing viewers. Thank you, Gregory Noble from George, for sharing this silhouetted shot of the sun rising. We can see that you're showing off this beautiful lens flare from the sun's rays. I love it. Gavin Pollock from Durban shared this view overlooking the city. Oh, look at that. Durban, what a way to wake up, showing off the ominous clouds in the distance that have been contributing to heavy rains in the area. But it does look so beautiful to look at so early in the morning. Please do get your pictures through to us on our Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. And now let's take a look at those temperatures to set you up for the day. Sun and clouds for Polokwane today, 13, reaching a high of 26. And if you're out in Mbombela, 18 is your low, reaching a maximum of 32. The capital city, Pretoria, 13, your low, reaching highs of 23, with some sun and clouds expected out in Johannesburg, 11, and a high of 22. Mahikeng, 10 and 25. Klerksdorp, you will start off at 9, reaching a maximum of 24, with Kimberley peaking at 25, but starting off with a low of 12. Bloemfontein, you start off at 7, reaching a high of 23. Richards Bay, your temperatures 19 and 29, with some sun and clouds expected out in Pietermaritzburg, 13, reaching a high of 26. Durban, 19 and 28. Mthatha, 12, reaching a high of 24, with East London coming in with a low of 16, reaching highs of 24. Craddock, sun and clouds for you, 10 and 28. Gqeberha, GQ, baby, 16, reaching a high of 24. George, 15 and 23. Cape Town, the mother city, you will start off at a low of 16. You will peak at 22. Worcester, 12 and 29, with Sutherland coming in at a low of 7, reaching a high of 23. Last, certainly not least by any means, it's Uppington, 13. That's your low, reaching a high of 30, and that's what it's looking like in the country, across the country. Hopefully, no matter what it's looking like in your part of the country, you are going to be making it a feel-good type of day. Go and do just that.
Well, we are going to keep on reminding you, Mzansi, Easter is just 2 days away, and for most busy moms, all the festivities of the long weekend can be a bit of a juggle and a bit of a struggle. So we've been asking you, all of the amazing mamas out there, to join the Easter holiday conversation, and we are loving all your hashtag real mom stories. Now, one comment that stood out for us is by Trudine Klilau, who has not only won herself an air fryer, but will also be sharing her hashtag real mom story with us today. And we actually have her on the line this morning. Trudine, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great, and how are you doing?
I'm good, only because I get to say congratulations!
Thank you so
Your life is about to change because you walk away with that air fryer. Now you get to share your story with us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And let's backtrack a bit because you commented on our post saying, simply chicken fingers were an absolute favorite with my kids, whether in the lunchbox or with mash and peas for supper. Hashtag real mom. And I love that. I love that you get to incorporate that into mealtime because my kids love it too. Luca loves it. My family, the entire family loves it for lunch, for dinner. But of course, with Easter vastly approaching, what is your secret to keeping things simple in your household?
For Easter, absolutely. We're just going to be at home, cook their favorite warm meals, pumpkin fritters, and absolutely chicken fingers and mash is a favorite.
Can I put in my request now already? Some pumpkin fritters. I'm going to bring my own Tupperware, I promise to eat.
You're welcome.
Definitely. Now, obviously, any family traditions when it comes to the Easter weekend, we love to hear about it. Is there any family traditions when it comes to your family over this time?
Absolutely. We have to do the pickle fish and we have to do the hot cross buns and cheese early in the morning.
Sounds like heaven. You make me so excited for this weekend. But how do you feel being this week's lucky winner? And what's the first thing you're going to make in your brand new air fryer, Mama?
What I'm going to do, Jamie, is chicken steaklets from Simply Chicken. And I'm going to make some great veg with that. And I will take a picture and I'll post it on Facebook for everybody to see on your Facebook page.
Judith, I was just going to say, whatever you do, you have to make sure that you tag us in every single recipe that you make so that we can see what you're making. But enjoy it. Enjoy Easter with the family. Enjoy all the traditions and enjoy that air fryer.
Thank you so much, Expresso. I'm so going to enjoy it. Thank you, Jamie, and the whole team. I love you guys.
Oh, we love you, Trudine. For you, Mzansi, keeping things simple this Easter has never been so easy. All you have to do is follow @SimplyChickenZA on Instagram for quick and easy recipes. Now, remember, there's a new chance to win an air fryer every week with Simply Chicken. To be this week's lucky winner, simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook. You can go to the Twitter or the Instagram page and tell us your #RealMom Easter holiday stories. Now, you not only stand to win an amazing air fryer, but also a chance to tell your story on Expresso like Trudine and automatically be entered into the draw for the grand cash prize of 10,000 Rand. Yes, it could be yours. Don't forget to include that very important hashtag, which is RealMom, in your answer. Now, the competition closes this Friday, the 15th of April at midday. And remember, those T's and C's do apply and can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Happy entering to all of you mamas out there.
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well.
Jungle, do life with heart.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So the kitchen is the heart of the home, and let's be honest, it's the place where most of the fun and good times happen in the house. So if you're looking to add some awesome accessories and utensils to make your next get-together or baking day with the kids a crazy and hygienic one, look no further than the Crazy Store's homeware range and cleaning goodies. And this morning, we're going to put them to good use as we make a delicious sun-dried tomato and onion quiche to give you a quiche on the cheek for you and the entire family. And of course, get all those cleaning hacks as well along the way. Graham, chef.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. I haven't made many quiches in my life, believe it or not.
Have you received quiches?
I've received a lot of quiches all over my face, and I love it. It's actually really simple to make, and it gives us an opportunity to have a little bit of fun with an entire range. So my thing is, the Crazy Store, a few years back, you'd go there for fun and craziness.
That's
now
correct.
you go there for your staples. You go there to kit out your kitchen, to kit out your home, and yeah, we really are going to be putting just about every utensil that we could find there to the test. But I just want to raise, because this is the season of hygiene, is it not?
Yes, it is indeed.
What I love about the Voy range of soaps, gentle on the hands, please.
It's got to be.
These poor hands have been through the most with...
We've had the sanitizer over and over again.
And then some. They've got some beautiful little additives in the range. They're goat milk extract, moisturizing moonlight rose, absolutely beautiful scents as well. So you'll be smelling beautiful as you are cooking. So what we're going to be making here, as you said, the goat's milk and thyme, beautiful combination. Got some sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm going to start with the real flavor punch here. This is going to inject the flavor. I'm going to imbue this oil with the flavor of thyme and our onion. And what I need you to start doing, my good friend, is layering the phyllo pastry, because we want to have a beautiful, thick and crispy layer at the bottom. So we need to individually butter each one of these and layer them in the pan.
Thank you so much. All right, so I do have some malted butter over here, and let me just
all in good time, eh?
Indeed, my friend. Indeed.
The days of kind of making a plan to get something right, you don't need it when you've got a range like this available at the Crazy Store, where it's so accessible cost-wise.
Yes.
This can be quite rustic looking, which I think is quite cool. And the nice thing is, because you're kind of infusing the oil and flavoring the onions with the thyme, I know I've put the whole stalks in there, get maximum flavor load, and then you just take the stalks out afterwards before you pop it into your... But that's, like you said.
And this is the thing about
absolutely beautiful.
About being a parent and cooking is that the only way you can get your kid away from the play area or the Fortnite is by making something delicious in the kitchen so that they can come running through. I mean, that's the entire idea.
Well, do you know what my thing is now? My kids are obviously being a bit younger. Now I'm finally like unlocking, especially my little man. I find Georgia's quite open to eating anything, and she's got a similar flavor kind of profile to me. She likes salty things like me. Jack, not so much. And we have completely different flavor kind of profiles or tastes. So trying to find something that he enjoys, but this is combining healthy elements. Obviously, we've got our egg custard going here, which I think I can move on to now. So I've got a beautiful caramelization going on my onions.
Beautiful.
Absolutely amazing. Now, what we're going to need to bind our quiche together is our custard of sorts. So we've got some cream here. I've got 4 eggs, which I'm going to pop into our bowl, and I'm going to season this guy with a
These
bit
layers
of salt.
are just going to crisp up, and with each bite, you're going to get the texture, because obviously the filling is quite soft and it's quite rich, and so you need that texture going on.
Completely, that sounding board, hey? That's looking beautiful, dude.
Thank you.
So I'm
very proud of that.
Our custard here as vigorously as I can, and then we're going to have a little bit of fun. So if you could imagine these onions now cooked down beautifully. We've got our caramelized onions, we've got our goat's milk, and we have got our sun-dried tomatoes, and you can start layering them in there, my friend. You've got to be try and be as liberal as you can, so that every mouthful you get a little taste of everything. Okay?
Beautiful.
Absolutely
Definitely
beautiful.
gonna do that. Okay, that's great.
Okay, and buddy, while you start doing that, I'm going to just start doing a little bit of a cleanup here. And I'm not shy of having like 9 different cleaning cloths for every surface.
And that's the thing. The cleanup thing, I think that's where we have to get the kids interested. When it comes to these little things that you have to wash, I mean, all these utensils from the Crazy Store, it's quite simple. And it's actually the Hill House Kickstart kitchen range. They've actually got you covered when it comes to everything that you need. It's also very cost effective, and it's bang on trend when it comes to the bakeware that we are using, the cookware we're using as well, and whatever recipe you're whipping up in the kitchen, they've got you covered. Knives, forks, jugs,
basting brush
essentials, exactly, basting brushes, cake tins, baking paper, spatulas, everything that you need. You'll be spoiled for choice. Just go in there, and I know you usually go in there for like the party tricks.
Yeah.
But what about the kitchen party tricks? Go in there for that this time. Another little.
Man, look what we've created together.
We did that together,
my love.
which is great.
And of course, the textural difference between that soft, beautiful, rich interior and that crispy exterior with the phyllo, absolutely beautiful. But I think we have put just about every utensil that we could find to test, and they have passed with flying colours.
Indeed, we're going to go and pop this into the oven and pop all the ingredients to this little recipe on the expressoshow.com Facebook page. The past year, it's made us a lot more aware of the importance of not only hygiene, as we've been doing with the Voy range as well, but also getting your children and the whole family into hand washing. Germ-busting routines are so important in the home, especially when it comes to the kitchen and making the recipes that you love. And I think this should be second nature to them, and I think the Crazy Store makes it that much easier with this entire range. The Crazy Store's Voy range, you can do just that when it comes to the education around hygiene. It consists of the wet wipes that you need, antibacterial hand soaps, and more. And once you're done in the kitchen, remember to clean up and using the Deezer range essentials such as microfiber cloths, as I dried my hands up with, like that. The refuse bags are part of that as well, and scourers for those little meaner stains that you have on the utensils, for those that just say not every baking trip is going to be sensational, so sometimes you need a bit of extra scour there. So if you want to get your hands on this mouth-watering recipe, as mentioned, expressoshow.com, and pack your kitchen drawers with funky and affordable kitchen basics. We can guarantee that you won't leave the Crazy Store without a basket stacked with crazy pieces to make every single moment in life as fun as it should be. Yes!
Look at it.
I know.
So
we did
beautiful.
That. I'm proud of us.
Come in with a little, leave with a lot. The Crazy Store has a whole range of stuff found to surprise and delight the whole family.
Has anyone seen the Easter Bunny?
The what?
Oh, there he is. The Easter Bunny came.
Oh, man, it's so much fun. I love this. It's one of the things, it's the wonder of Easter. One of the things is really being the Easter Bunny for my nieces and nephews and doing this sort of thing. I love it.
So cute. But we also love connecting with you on social media. And we asked you this morning, good morning, are you planning to go away this Easter long weekend? Or are you going to be staying at home and the fam is coming to you? Let us know.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone came through on the socials.
Yeah, the comments, there are many of them. Martha Masichaba Sitsiba says, I'm staying home and hosting guests. Cheers to more cooking and feasting.
Love that for you, Martha. Then Jolene says, good morning, guys. Definitely staying at home this weekend due to all the rain and the floods. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Please do take it easy there and be safe. Posha Dlamini, our Posh Loshi, says, I'm staying home this time around. We just had a newborn out. Congratulations. We need time to bond with the new additional member of the family. That is so cute. Congratulations, Posha.
Please dress her up like a little bunny. We'd like to see those pictures as well.
So cute, that.
Then Sharonal David says, getting my vitamin C on. St. Helena Bay, here we come with pickle fish and hot cross buns.
The classics. The classics. So please do let us know. Are you going to be going away? Are you staying home? Are you hosting? Are you visiting friends? Are you playing Easter Bunny? What are you going to be doing this Easter? Connect with us. Expresso Morning Show SABC3 with hashtag Expresso Show.
I'll go. Someone of you say, oh, he's back. Move way.
Clover fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover.
going to get into, I think, something that certainly has become a pillar within the way that I see my role. And I think one of the incredible privileges of the Expresso platform is that we get to partner with brands who are using their platforms to create action, much needed change in our country. And one such brand is Domestos. They have used their brand power and their actual product to combat the sanitation crisis, and I stress the word crisis, that is plaguing our schools and keeping our young learners from an education, never mind the dignity that is being stripped away on a daily basis. Well, this morning I welcome back Nobuhle Ngobane, the Senior Brand Manager for Domestos South Africa, to reflect back on what has been an incredible campaign and even more impressive, the life-changing results they've been able to achieve with a sustained effort. Nobuhle, great to see you. I see you nodding your head there emphatically as I say these things, because it's easy to become impassioned about this. I've tried to entrench myself in as many ways as I can because I see the relevance of it, and I think we know clearly the need. We need to protect our young people in whatever way we can. I've had the benefit of having a front row seat to this journey for the last couple of years, and I've seen how far you have come. Maybe you can take us, as someone who is even more emotionally invested, take us down memory lane. Talk us through what you have achieved so far and why it makes you so proud.
You know, we can't talk about what we've achieved before we remind our viewers at home the reason why Domestos is so invested in addressing unsafe sanitation in our country. Because unsafe sanitation is linked to the transmission of illness-causing germs, which impact the quality of education that our learners receive, because when learners are ill because they've been exposed to germs, they miss on important school days, which impacts the quality of their education. But also, most importantly, you know, it infringes on their rights to dignity, because where there's an absence of safe sanitation or even basic sanitation, you know, learners sometimes have to relieve themselves outside in the open area, which is obviously negatively affects their self-esteem and impacts on their overall well-being. And that is why Domestos, over the last decade, has really been waging this war against unsafe sanitation and poor hygiene through our 3 pillars of our purpose. And these pillars of our purpose include our school toilet refurbishments, our school toilet maintenance program, as well as our National Schools Hygiene Program, which is an education program that teaches learners good basic hygiene habits. And through these pillars, over the last decade, we've reached 5 million learners.
Wow.
We've been able to help them access cleaner and safer toilets and a better standard of hygiene and sanitation in schools, which is work that we are immensely proud of and are extremely grateful to have been a part of.
It's life-changing. But for me, I think where it really comes to bear, it's that daily reinforcing that some young child out there thinks that it's normal to go and relieve themselves in an open field behind the school because that's all they've ever known. We need to change that narrative. 5 million kids reached. I would imagine within that there are some deeply personal stories, some amazing moments throughout that journey. What have been some of the highlights for you when you look back, considering what you've set out to achieve?
Absolutely. I mean, in 2021 alone, we were able to build 51 toilets in 3 schools. Wow. We were able to train over 200 janitors, you know, equipping them with skills as well as materials to actually help keep their toilets clean and safe for learners. And we were also able to participate in the National Schools Hygiene Program alongside our other brands, Lifebuoy as well as Minted and P. And, you know, the culmination of those 3 pillars of our purpose have helped us to reach over 900,000 learners in 2021 alone.
Sure.
So that is work that we are very, very proud of. And I mean, if you go back to schools where, you know, originally we had visited these schools before the interventions, and you hear of just the impacts, you know, of not having school toilets, those stories become very personal to us. Yeah. It really is a privilege for us to be a part of the solution in our country and alongside our partners as well.
And no child must get left behind. So we keep fighting until every child has access to safe, clean toilets. That being said, what's next? Where is Domestos going with this?
You know, interestingly enough, when we started this journey globally, Domestos set an ambition that was back in 2010, an ambition to reach 25 million people, and by 2020, globally we had reached 29 million people through our purpose. And so, of course, we had to set the bar higher. So we have just set ourselves an ambition to reach 100 million people globally through our purpose.
Sure.
And what that means for us in South Africa is that we have to reach at least 1 million learners annually in order for us to contribute to the global purpose ambition. And so, you know, it cannot be possible without the collaboration of our partners. Over the years, we've been working with partners such as Designdex Architects, Astrato Engineers, Envirosan, as well as the Departments of Basic Education. And we cannot leave behind our consumers because they have made this possible for us through just a simple act of buying Domestos bleach. They have enabled us to invest in all these programs that have reached over 5 million learners over the past decade. And we need our consumers to continue supporting the brand because it is through their support that we are able to do more.
It activates the entire chain. The partners are there, the right relationships are there, government is there, big business is clearly there. Now we need the consumer to step up, as they have been, and just do what you're going to do anyway. Just buy your bottle of Domestos. I absolutely love it. Nobutle, thank you so much. Every time I speak to you, my cup is refilled and I feel a little bit more hopeful about what has been a hopeless situation. So thank you so, so much.
Thank you, and thank you for your support.
We love it. I think it's one of the most vitally important conversations to be having right now. And what I love the most about this dynamic is we can each do something. Every time you shop Domestos in store, R1 from that bottle sold, not at your cost, courtesy of Domestos, will go towards safer toilets for 1 million learners in South Africa. So let's play our part.
Oh, we know winter is around the corner. 'Tis the season for sniffles, aches, and colds, especially when it comes to our little ones. But feeling unwell doesn't only mean colds and flu. Babies often suffer from things like colic and stomach discomfort and are unable to tell us where it hurts. Now, we are chatting to our favorite dad this morning, Graham Richards, about how he's managed nursing his 2 little ones back to health when they've been under the weather and finding out his must-have products for all parents out there. G-Man, we know this. Our kids are getting sick. I think just last week we were speaking about how Georgia and Jack has been so ill.
And it has such a dominant domino effect on the rest of your life because while you're looking after little one, obviously your life has to come to a grinding halt. But it's that empathy that breaks my heart, is because you can see that they're in discomfort. You can see that they're not happy. Just imagine yourself when you're sick and how awful and miserable you feel, and you just want to be able to help them. And often it feels like there is nothing you can do. But I'm telling you, and I don't know if it's like an unwritten rule that you get this as part of a starter pack, but it generally comes via the way of mummy or granny. You get these absolute staples that just help so much. And there's 2. Telement is something that you'll say a lot. And it's one of those things, when you talk about colic or that kind of painful discomfort, wind in your little bubba, it can be really, really painful and uncomfortable for them. And it's amazing how you can deal with it. I know we've struggled to define what colic actually is. It's basically an unhappy baby. And Telement, it's either I go with the colic drops themselves or the gripe water. There is a reason why it's been around for 100 years or so, and obviously they've constantly improved on it. You get the alcohol-free, which is obviously essential for your baby. No additives, no preservatives, no added colorants, anything like that. So you know you're in safe hands, but it's amazing how well this works. It's like an urban legend that's actually true.
100%. When you said like it comes from granny, it comes from mom, everything, that's tried and tested, so you know it does work. And just to weigh in as well, I've been trying the Vidalen with Luca because obviously being at school, always being surrounded, you know, by the naughties and the tummy bugs and all of that stuff, we needed something to get it to him. Now it also comes in the gummies, so it's easy for them to just give it to him in the morning after breakfast.
How many have you eaten yourself? How many gummies have you eaten?
It's not about me. Gee, you the dad over here, you in the hot seat.
Both of my little ones are completely different. So Jack loves a syrup, and especially a nice tasting syrup. And again, it's free of all the nasty additives as well, but you're so so kind of blessed here, and I think a multivitamin is great because you're boosting their immune system. Yes, they're going to boost their own immune system by probably putting the gummy on the floor and letting the dog lick it and then putting it in their mouth, which is the way that babies work, but that's how they grow their immune system and build up that system. So for me, I love the fact that you can, regardless of how your baby enjoys it, you can go a different route, and there's some with plus iron to help with the growth of their bones and their blood vessels. There's so many ways that you can prevent the onslaught of winter when they go back into that petri dish that is creche, because they will get sick, guaranteed.
And here's the thing, Jack is 4 years old.
Yeah, he's about to turn 5.
George is 2 years old. So obviously you have this huge gap, and I'm sure that your emergency kit is always stocked with must-have products. What are some of them? I mean, I know you mentioned the Telcom drops, colic drops.
You've got to have the colic drops, the gripe water as an absolute essential. For me, obviously, I've got in my kind of supplement cupboard, we've got all the vitamins, and I'll include a few other things, maybe omegas and things like that. But in my little health kit, I'll call it, you've got to have cute plasters that make them feel better, because it's psychosomatic, okay? It's all about them having an awesome plaster, never mind what the plaster's doing. You've got to have, obviously, your disinfectants and things like that. And something that really does help, if you've got a persistent nappy rash or kind of rash, any kind of skin irritation that's kind of leveled up a little bit, the Antipiol is, I hope I'm saying that right, really, really good topical ointment to use. And a nappy rash can get out of hand very quickly, and it's equally as uncomfortable and painful for the little one. So this is all about kind of helping them on their little journey of life, making them as happy and comfortable as possible.
You see why he's a super dad? Because he's always coming through with all the knowledge. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Of course, for you at home, it can break your heart to see your child feeling nausea or sick, but you can help them feel better with Purity's range of medications. They really are there for you every step of the way. Now listen up, Purity are giving away 5 lucky viewers a mini first aid kit to the value of 500 Rand each. Now all you have to do is reply to the competition post on either Expresso's Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page and tell us how your little one likes to take their daily vitamins. And don't forget to include that hashtag baby's first aid in your answer. Now the competition closes midday on Friday, the 15th of April. And remember, those T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
What? I don't understand.
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. It all begins with Purity.
Simple as CBD should be.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropica Island of Treasure. And we're going big!
Just tell us why you should be chosen to compete with one of these all-star celebs and stand a chance to win a smooth 1 million Rand. WhatsApp your audition video or upload it on our socials at MyTropica for your chance to get a spot on the island.
So buy a Tropica today, and this could be you. See pack for details.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Time now to meet our extraordinary performer this morning. Trevor Malchus was born and raised in Windhoek in Namibia, but has been residing in Johannesburg and has been leading praise and worship for many years now, and I think has touched many lives and is now pursuing a solo career. He's got a big, beautiful voice and he's not afraid to use it. It's been a long time coming, and back in studio to tell us about the road so far is Trevor himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Trevor Malchus in the house. I love it because whenever I hear you sound check, it's like jaw drops to the ground like, wow. You've been blessed with a gift, man.
Yeah.
Is that a responsibility? Is your career a calling? Is it something that you have to do when you're blessed with a talent like this? Surely you've got to act on it. When did you feel that push to say, okay, this is what I need to be doing? Because as I understand it, you've been singing for most of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I started singing at about 8 years old. And so definitely there's a responsibility that comes with the gift. And to me, it's definitely a calling. It's my ministry. It's not just about singing. It's not just about performing. You know, so it's about touching people's lives through the ability that I've been given. So to me, it's a form of evangelizing through singing, you know.
I love it, and it's authentic. And I love the fact when I can see someone who could have kind of parallel paths all working in conjunction, when those paths come together and you become. And clearly you're in that phase of your career now where you're becoming.
Absolutely.
That being said, you've got this tool that you can use, that you can take in pretty much any direction, I would imagine, when you look at your voice. How would you describe the music that you enjoy singing the most? Do you have a style?
Yeah, I think my music style is sort of a combination of what I've been exposed to. So it's a bit of local punkster music, as we call it, some African-infused styles, and then also I have strong American influence as well, because obviously we've been influenced by American music over the years. So I have these three components that I sort of, that's how I create my music, that's how I write my music, and that's how I compose. You know?
Of course, we've had 2 years of intensive creativity because we haven't been able to get out there and perform.
Yeah.
And maybe that's been a bit of breathing room. Has that helped you? I know there have been some challenges through that path, and I'll take nothing away from that, from what your industry has been through. It's just been insane. But have you enjoyed having an opportunity to just stop and breathe and think and create?
I think, yeah, the last two singles that I've dropped last year, actually one over Easter and one Christmas time, that all of that has been created in the pandemic, sort of, you know. So it's really given you headroom to think. Although you've been in lockdown, it sort of forced you to now sit and create and see what you can come up with, and it's given me the space to really create, and it's been awesome. Yeah.
No, I'm a firm believer that once we've recovered from the knock, let's be honest, financially, once this and our industry went through a similar sort of journey of kind of utter devastation, now that we're coming out of that dark cloud, you're starting to see the silver lining, excuse the pun, but I think it's going to be better than it's ever been before. Through all of this, you found a way to tour and have that tour named as the Tour of the Year as well. What made that tour so successful? What did you tap into that led to that?
I think it was towards the end of last year. It sort of seemed like the tide is turning a bit, and I just wanted to celebrate a bit, you know. People have been confined to their homes, etc. So we wanted people to come out a bit. There has been space to maneuver around, and we wanted to call people out. So we did a tour in Gauteng and in the Northern Cape, you know, just exposing people to our music and so on. And it's been awesome. The reception has been great, and we appreciate the moments that we could have had through that.
Don't we appreciate a crowd even more now?
Absolutely, yeah. Now we really don't take it for granted.
Give me 5 people and I will be happy. That's an audience. Finally, I've got to ask, what's the next big thing for you? What are you focused on right now?
Look, we obviously it's Easter coming up. We got Easter. I'm joining up with a group of or a network of churches. Celebrating Easter with a conference, and then also we're planning to do more things obviously it's winter now and it's difficult to do shows, etc. But come 1st of September, we're trying to do a couple of shows, and we're also planning a big festival towards the end of the year. We want to release our album as well. So we got all those things happening. And
I was going to say, the people want the music, my friend. We need new music. I'm not joking when I say your jaw is going to be on the floor when you see this gentleman perform in just a moment. He's got a calling, and it's called him here this morning just for you. I like to think it's for me, but it's mainly for you guys. Don't move a muscle. Trevor's going to be performing throughout the show this morning. Wishing you a very happy Easter, my brother.
Same to you, brother.
I hope it's the most blessed time for you, and likewise for you guys at home. And if you're looking for a way to tap into that spirit this Easter, he is your man.
Thank you so much, Graham. Thank you very much, Trevor Malchus. You'll be seeing more of him on the show throughout the morning here. A stunning performance is also on its way. But right now, a stunning recipe, because let's talk about this for a second. When looking for something refreshing, fruity, with 100% goodness to serve your unexpected visitors this 100% Easter weekend, look no further than a refreshing crushed juice, the 100% quintessential snacking solution. It's more than just a fruity refreshment. Really, it is versatile to use in various ways. You're going to see that. And if you're treating the family to something, sweet, you're going to love our crushed Easter spiced orange cake. Perfect! With a glass of 100% crushed juice. In fact, I made you one.
Thank you.
To me, because I must motivate you. I must inspire you to do only the best, as you do in the kitchen here. So, talk to me about this.
We're using clover crush, right? And I'm just thinking right now, this is the perfect cake to make for your crush.
Oh.
If they come over or they surprise you and be like, act like you didn't know, but you knew.
And then when you're done, you're gonna say, crushed it. Because you have achieved your crush.
100%. Okay, so let's get started on this delicious recipe. So I've got some sugar that I've added in here. Our cake actually includes some syrup in it, and we're making our syrup using some sugar and some of our clover crush orange juice as well.
No ways. How are you doing that? How are you achieving a whole creation of syrup from scratch using sugar and clover crush?
Because
tell me about it.
We basically want to enhance that orangey flavor in this cake, because our cake is basically spiced and you've got those flavors of the orange.
Yeah.
And to mix it all together here, I've got some sugar.
Yeah.
I've also got some baking powder. I've got those spices that we're talking about. I'm adding the spice to your life.
So what are the spices?
Oh,
you can use
spices. I just want you to smell them.
Oh.
These are winter spices.
Cinnamon
that time
is
of the
coming
year.
in. It's saying, don't leave me, don't leave me. Oh.
So in essence, we're mixing up our dry ingredients here. I've got some sugar, and into this I'm going to add some of my flour.
Yeah.
And then before we go too far, I'm doing a dry, wet situation. So mixing our dry ingredients first.
All right.
And then from there, we're going to mix in our wet ingredients.
Love
so what
it.
I'm going to do, make a nice little well in the center here. So we've added all those spices. I've also added a bit of sugar into this.
Yes.
And then into the center go my eggs.
And here's the thing about the mixing of the eggs and introducing the eggs, is that people often do get it wrong at this stage of the recipe. What are some of those common mistakes with eggs and introducing eggs?
Making sure, if at all you're going to be, whenever baking, if you're going to be using eggs into your mixture and you've got stuff like, you've got the orange juice or milk or any other liquid, make sure they're all at the same temperature. So if you're going to be using room temperature eggs, make sure that you're using room temperature milk, because all of that does affect the baking. I'm not a baker myself.
But you do know that. Those are some of the things to know, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's now we're going in with our oil.
Right.
And because we are crushing it in the kitchen, we're going to add our clover crush. Just to add that additional flavor into this. And I mean, the one thing about baking is that it is a very scientific thing.
No, it is.
But if you follow
the ratios are very important.
According to the recipes on expressoshow.com, then you really shouldn't worry about anything else.
Okay.
Landela ama instructions and your life will be...
And it doesn't take too long. The one thing that you were telling me earlier on is that this takes about, what, 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes to get the entire thing done. I think that for the purpose of impressing your crush, if that's what you were doing, this is perfect. And if you were just doing it for your family as well, getting a dish, maybe a dish of cake like this, prepared and ready within that amount of time, I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. Go on to expressoshow.com for the recipe, and you'll see all of the ingredients involved in bringing it to life, all right?
You remember I mentioned that syrup that we're making. The reason for the syrup is because we're going to bake our cake. You mentioned that 40 to 45 minutes. Once it's baked, as it comes out of the oven, we're going to douse it. And when I say douse, I mean we put all of the syrup into them.
Okay.
So what it does is that it helps make sure that your cake stays nice and moist. If by any reason when's a mistake, where's the porter and you got...
because how do you recover from making a mistake during a baking process?
Crushes eyes and now you forgot there's something in the oven. Take it out, put the syrup on, make sure it's nice and soft and moist.
So the syrup?
The moist goes on, the syrup goes on top of the cake after it's baked. And then once it's chilled nicely, you just dust it with some icing sugar. I've also added a bit of zest in there. And if you want, you could also just add some zest on the top as well of your cake, just for color.
I mean, for me, that's always the thing, right? That zest, is that freshness, the refreshing nature of it that we're looking for. Okay, put it here for now, because so far you've done the things. And without a doubt, you'll get 100% tasty goodness in every sip from Crush. It's the perfect accompaniment to any meal or snack this Easter weekend or any day, really. In addition, Crush is enriched with vitamin A, C, and E, which is all the goodness that you want. It's that 100% goodness for you and your whole family. And your Crush, maybe, if that's what you were making, who you were making it for, with various fruity flavors that you can choose from. You have options. Oh, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, this girl is done. But I have to taste it. And that means that I will take it at some point just now and go taste it later. So go on expressoshow.com and enjoy. Okay, sharp. Okay.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the Crush and I'll get the ice.
The whole family.
More Crush Mom, 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, the moment we've all been waiting for. He is here to make all our Wednesday blues fade away. Now, this is gospel artist Trevor Malgas with his latest single, Kom Din die Here. Take it away.
Samen
Yes, the energy, the passion, and the vibes that we need, making it feel like a Sunday out here. Trevor Malchus, absolutely loved it. And Mzansi, don't go anywhere because the gospel is not going to stop.
And the time now is 8 o'clock, time to have a final look at those news headlines. Starting on the local front, Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula says motorists who are yet to renew the expired driver's licenses have until next month to do so. Now, the latest deadline was set to expire on Friday. The minister had previously announced a 15-day extension on the 31st of March, which was the initial deadline for all learner licenses, driving license cards, temporary driving licenses, and professional driving permits that expired between the 26th of March 2020 and the 31st of August 2021. Then, staying on the local front, Eskom has announced that load shedding will be extended until Friday morning at 5 o'clock. Eskom said the extended power outages were necessary due to reduced capacity and extended delays in bringing power generating units back online. It said the extension of load shedding was caused by continued delays in returning to service 4 generating units at Camden Power Station and 2 generating units at Tutuka Power Station. Eskom teams are working hard to return as many of these units to service as possible. Then on the international front, Ethiopia has allowed Boeing 737 MAX airplanes back to its airspace 3 years after one of its national carrier jets crashed shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa. All 149 passengers and 8 crew members aboard the Ethiopian Airlines flight from Ethiopian capital to Nairobi in Kenya died. The Ethiopian Civil Aviation Authority, ECAA, said it lifted the ban after being satisfied with improvements in the plane's design and the airline's pilot training program. Then Russian President Vladimir Putin says peace talks have reached a dead end after Ukraine made allegations about war crimes. Putin also dismissed the discovery of dead bodies lying in the streets in the Ukrainian town of Bucha as fake and insisted that Russian military's goals in Ukraine were noble. Meanwhile, the US and Britain says they are checking reports that chemical weapons have been used by Russian forces attacking Mariupol. And the UN says some 4.8 million of Ukraine's 7.5 million children have been displaced since the start of the war. Then an Egyptian swimmer who lost his leg in a motorcycle accident has set 2 Guinness World Records for swimming underwater after taking only a single breath. Omar Hegacy, 31 years old, swam more than 56 meters underwater after taking a single breath and then backed it up by swimming another 77 meters again after only inhaling once using fins. In doing so, he has earned the world's records for the longest distance swim underwater with 1 breath and the longest distance underwater with fins after only inhaling once. Hegacy lost his left leg when he was 25 years old. He was riding his motorcycle when he struck a pothole and was flung under an oncoming truck. Hegacy says that after his accident, swimming helped him to deal with his anger and frustration, and it was also where he says he felt free and capable. He says he's hoping his records will now inspire others to overcome any obstacles. On that inspiring note, that is where I leave your news headlines. It's time now to have a final look at the weather. Uncle Tabzi is standing by.
Thanks very much, Jamie Lee. A final look at your weather. Let's start with some really unpleasant news out in KZN, where the floods in KwaZulu-Natal have claimed an almighty death toll, with more than 45 people having lost their lives due to the extreme weather conditions. There have been disturbing images that we've seen and you're seeing on your screen right now of gushing torrents of water destroying homes, public infrastructure, buildings crumbling, roads flooded and damaged, train services suspended, many schools closed, as well as weather records have been shattered across the province. Now, the scale of downpours has been quite uncanny, and these disastrous conditions beg the question, were these weather conditions a direct result of climate change? Well, the South African Weather Service says that the answer isn't quite black and white, and that there's no straightforward way to put it. The Weather Service further states that although the KZN floods cannot be solely blamed on climate change, events similar to these in KZN are happening more often because of climate change. And in other words, global warming is now intensifying the frequency of our extreme weather patterns, even if it didn't directly cause the event itself. So our thoughts do go out, as well as our prayers, with all of our fellow South Africans that are affected in those areas. And next, we move from weather news to sunrise views as we share some of those beautiful sunrise pictures that you have sent through to us. Thank you very much to Ferris Klut for sending us this beautiful, stunning image. Look at that, overlooking the area, showing off the stunning transition of the sky from night to day. Geraldine Flatwell from Fishhook also shared a beautiful picture, a fresh morning shot overlooking the ocean as the day begins, showing the sun bright in the sky. Gregory Noble from George shared this silhouetted shot of the sun rising, showing off this beautiful lens flare from the sun's rays. Gavin Pollock from Durban shared his view overlooking the city, showing off the ominous clouds and the distance that have been contributing to heavy rains in the area. And now if I look at the temperatures across the country, sun and clouds for you. Polokwane 13 is your low, reaching a high of 26. Sun and clouds for Mbombela 18 is your low, reaching a high of 32. If you find yourself out in the capital city, that's Pretoria. 13 is your minimum, reaching a maximum of 23. Johannesburg 11 and 22. Mahikeng starts off at 10 today, reaching a maximum of 25. Klerksdorp 9 is your low, reaching a maximum of 24. Sun and clouds for Kimberley 12 and a max of 25, with Bloemfontein coming in at 7 and 23. If you're out in Richards Bay, some sun and clouds are expected over there today. 19 is your minimum, reaching a maximum of 29. Pietermaritzburg 13, your low, reaching highs of 26. Durban 19 and 28, with Mthatha coming in a low of 12, peaking at 24. East London 16 and 24. Craddock, your low 10, reaching a high of 28, with Gqeberha GQ, baby, 16, peaking at 24. George 15 and 23, with Cape Town, the mother city, starting off at 16, reaching a maximum of 22. Worcester 12 is your low, reaching a high of 29, with Sutherland coming in at a minimum of 7, reaching a maximum of 23. Last, not least, Uppington, your low is 13. You will reach a high of 30. And that's where we leave it for this morning. Please do share your sunrise pictures with us bright and early tomorrow morning. We want to see those. Expresso Morning Show, SABC 3.
Okay, here's a question. It's quite personal. Do you suffer from FOMO? Are you one of those people, the fear of missing out? I think it gets all of us at some time, especially around weekends like this with the Easter weekend just around the corner. We want to know at what cost you'll decide to plan a last-minute holiday adventure in another round of Would You Rather? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
So this is quite a happy scenario. Tubbs, come in here. I'd like to hear from you as well.
I love Would You Rather.
Yeah.
I love it.
This one's not too difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe you'll actually find yourself in this position right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to set the scene for you guys. So at first you weren't planning on doing anything, not going away for the Easter weekend. You were just going to keep it chilled. But then you saw this truly irresistible, incredible deal of up to 60% off at a hotel in your favorite holiday destination, just 2 hours away from home, right around the corner. Oh, so tantalizingly close. So would you rather, A, take the deal? Just do it. Or B, just stay at home, man. Stick to your plan.
Wow.
This is a tricky one.
If I didn't have family coming over to us, then I would have...
But the deal's so good, you could probably take someone with you, man.
No, I'm just going to stay at home. I'm going to chill it out. I just want to relax and just connect with the family again. But I mean, 60% off.
That's a lot. That's something makes it
I'm already just thinking, because you're saying if I didn't have family coming over, I'm like, sweetheart, get on the phone and say, hello, my darlings. Listen, I know you were supposed to come over this weekend, but no, we can postpone it to another time. I'm going somewhere else this
Now we know what you do with your family.
Or you can say, you're going to meet me in Limpopo.
Yeah, you're coming
baby.
to Limpopo. Everybody's coming. I would take it. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't want to say that you guys aren't the experts, but let's hear from the expert themselves. We put this to you guys on social media, so let's see what the peeps have been saying.
So we have Mkahoshi saying, more good people. I would not take the deal because 50% is still money that I didn't plan to use. I like to plan in advance, and what's better than spending Easter with family?
Yeah.
Yes, you are my person.
Okay. Monique
Peterson says,
hey, I need a break just to relax and enjoy every moment and make new memories. This would be my first Easter without my parents, as both have passed on.
I'm so sorry.
Take the deal, she says.
Yeah, Princess says, A, without hesitation, I would take the deal. Take the deal.
People need a break, bro.
People do, man. It's been a tough couple of years. You deserve the opportunity to get out there. Let's see if anyone is going to follow Jamie's advice here and just keep it sedate.
Kavitha says A as well. She says, quick holiday and it's cheap. Why
Good for you.
not?
Good for you, girl.
Sure. Sherry Williams says, A, take the deal. Life is way too short. And then Delani says, B, it's not a choice. We simply cannot afford it. Then Cindy Loporosa says, B, just stay at home, save for bigger and better things.
All right, so a lot of getting real, which I appreciate. Some very well-grounded, and I think you've got your head in the right place. That's great. But I'm going to throw another little cat amongst the pigeons.
Oh, my word.
So get this, okay? The 60% off is actually a real thing, for real, right now.
What do you
I'm going
mean,
to tell
bro?
you how you can do it, okay? The Avo app by Nedbank, as of this very second, is offering some massive Easter holiday discounts at some select hotels, some beautiful destinations when you book through their app. So, for example, you can get 60% off this entire Easter weekend at the beautiful Strand Pavilion Hotel down in Cape Town for only 4,199 Rand. That's over 6,300 Rand to be exact off. That's incredible. What a deal. Wow. And then get this, you can get up to 40% off a weekend at the Fairways in one of the most beautiful places in the country, in the Drakensberg. Look at that.
Man.
That's just 4,509 Rand. That's a saving of 2,681 Rand, guys. Come on.
This changes a lot, okay? So I'm going to that bag right now. You know that money?
Yeah, just think about it, girl. How much do you love Durbs? Aren't you missing Durbs?
I would.
Because there's equally good deals. Durbs, there's deals in Cape Town, there's deals in Mpumalanga, there might be a deal in Hammanskraal. You don't know.
Certainly.
Just get onto the Avo app and have a look. Some incredible deals, 37% off, 40%, 60% off. So you've got to head over to the Avo app and try to capitalize on these epic deals if your budget can afford it. And at least this makes it a little bit more accessible. But look at those green hills, those
you
mountains,
see that, and you
man.
just want to dive straight into it. And I think that those deals certainly do make and call for you to want to jump into it. So I say, do it.
Only A. You're only allowed to go with A in this.
A.
Don't just buy. Look out for specials. Do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money choices seriously? Join Nedbank today.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thank you for staying with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Winter is coming, okay? But winter doesn't have to be dark and dull. It doesn't have to. Now is the time to spruce up your interior, and there's nothing like a fresh coat of paint to turn up the volume. And here to bring us up to speed and turn up the volume on the latest autumn and winter 2022 paint trends is interior designer Frans Alexander. Frans, winter's here. People think it just needs to be dull, dark, boring, but that's not true, right?
Absolutely not.
When it comes to revamping a space, what sort of colors should we be looking at for the autumn and winter 2022 in terms of trends?
If we look at the Plascon color chart, and they've got colors like Pear Fantasy and Desert Water and Zanzibar. Now, those three colors work wonderfully together, and especially if I think of a lounge space where you can introduce all three colors at the same time, as these colors are quite calming, and the one color, Zanzibar, is quite strong, but you can use that color in a throw, you can use it in accessories, and it's still an earthy color, which really makes it feel quite snug, you know, like winter does. You know, you need all those snug colors, and it feels like home, exactly.
Yes.
And earthy colors also brings forth a very calming effect. So even though it's quite a dark color, you know, you can still work with that. And if I think of other colors like a forestry green color or a terracotta color, which is also quite big at the moment, you know, the greens, the terracottas, all these clay colors, all earthy tones, all very big at the moment.
The whole process can be overwhelming, and you can imagine, I mean, with Plascon, for example, only just having 1,200 colors to pick from, you can imagine that that must be quite daunting for someone who isn't as creatively inclined as maybe you are. But why is choosing a color and introducing color, maybe even just on one part of your home, one room, so important?
You know what, the color sets the mood of the room. So it is very important to make the right selection. So when it comes to selecting a color, you have to make sure, you know, within that room, what is your intention for. Is it going to be for that season? Is it an annual color? And then there you can introduce a lot more in terms of accessories. If I look through the Plascon color, they get it so right, you know. You know, if I just think of a dining room, for instance, where red is a prominent color for a dining room, or orange, they've got beautiful reds and tones of reds that you can use within a dining room, where you can paint an entire room in that color, and then trim and your ceilings and your cornices and your architraves and all of that in a white, for instance, as an example.
So you sort of mix and match it and find the right kind of balance for your space.
Absolutely. But I mean, Plascon has got so many color options available for you. And if you know and understand a little bit about the color, it's easy to make your selection.
Because once you've figured out the color, then the accessories follow, right? Because you've got that as the sort of, you know, the key sort of blueprint of the look and feel of your home. Then you start to play around with scatter cushions, accessories, plants and things, and lighting.
Of course, and then it's also an inexpensive way to introduce color into your home, you know? But it is a very important part of it.
Well, something else that's been quite important is noting the fact that a lot of us have spent so much time because of COVID-19 in our homes, right? Because of the pandemic, we're working from home, we're living at home, we're doing everything at home. Has this had an influence on the trends that we're seeing as far as colors for the season?
Definitely. You know, being at home all the time, you want colors that are going to calm you. And that's why they have within the catalog, you'll see a lot of neutral colors and soft hues. And here and there they have a strong color, but they're using it in a clever way. You know, so you'll maybe paint one wall in that, and then you'll introduce the rest of the room and the accessories with the different colors, making it nice and soft, making it nice and calm, tranquil. You know.
I love that people now have the opportunity to self-express through color, but also people are opening their minds up to understanding that your entire house doesn't have to be one color. Maybe the one bedroom is that color. Maybe 2 colors, maybe 3 colors, and then your lounge, and then your dining area, and you really can find that magic. Oh, Frans, it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You are a rock star. Now, paint is not just a color on a wall. Choose wisely and allow Plascon to steer you in the right direction, because together, we've got this.
We keep telling you Easter is around the corner. Gee, I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to the Easter weekend, the long weekend, just to relax.
So much. Cannot absolutely wait for this thing. It's going to make, I think, for most of us, an opportunity to really connect with family and friends, regardless of what you're doing. For me, it's all about quality time with the family and standing around a fire. I don't know why it's such an important thing for me, but I absolutely love it. And to add to the mix, because you've got to gift yourself. I know everyone else is getting a little something over Easter, but I found the official Jan Braai gloves. Now, I've got blisters all over my hands because I'm that guy who takes things out of the oven and touches the braai grid, and I'm constantly burning myself. These guys, they look like industrial strength, but they are so awesome. I cannot wait to put them to the test. Looks like you've been shopping as well.
Wait, they look amazing. And firstly, can I call you out? And I'm not being shady because
no, you're right.
You have not invited me to a braai yet. So when you use that, can I come?
I'm just going to send you a picture of these Jan Braai fire mitts, okay? And then you know, okay, it's time to come over. But no, what I love about this gives you the confidence to be that master braai.
I think you should put it on. Put it on so we can see that you are actually meaning business for the fire this weekend.
It's empowering. I can't tell you.
However, I got myself... He's ready.
Hey, how cool is that?
He's ready. I got myself this pre-washed microfiber diamond stitch kilt. It is so soft, it's comfy because, like I said, I'm not going away this week and I'm staying at home with the family. Feel it, please feel it.
And chill. That's what you... Oh, you see, this reminds me of my safe place when I was a kid. Is my mom had a similar feeling kind of quilt on her bed, and that was like my safe place to snuggle up on that every... That is beautiful. Absolutely. From Woolies, I'm assuming?
Of course. Woolies is making sure that we are just being comfort, we are in style, we're making sure that you're spending time with the family.
We are safe.
We are safe, very safe.
I love it. So if you are wanting to juice up your home life just like we are, and you are tapping into this, listen to this. Okay, if you spend 750 Rand online at Woolworths, you'll get 100 Rand off on selected homeware items. That's $100 just to sweeten the deal.
This is an amazing offer, and it's only online and only valid until Thursday, the 14th of April, 2022. So take full advantage of this offer for you.
Yeah, get on that right now. Shop the offer and you'll get that 100 Rand off on selected homeware items when spending, as I said, 750 Rand or more online. It must be online up until the 14th of April. That's this Thursday. Obviously the 22nd being the year. And now we are ready for Easter, my friend.
Happy shopping.
It's time to bake more memories with Royal Baking Powder on the new season of the Tastemaster SA, starting soon on SABC2. Our overall winner will take home 50,000 Rand cash. Plus, contestants can win 50,000 Rands worth of kitchen appliances. To enter, visit thetastemaster.co.za. Share a video about yourself and why you love baking, and show us something you've baked with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Entries close on Monday, 25th of April. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso. We're live here on S3. Winner, chicken dinner. Oh, yes. It's a Wars of Pasta Wednesday with Fatties and Monies, and you are going to be the winner at your next dinner because South African chef royalty, Ruben Riffle, and I like to call him Uncle Rubza, Ruby Roo, is back in the kitchen to show us how to make the easiest but the most delicious chicken pasta. Uncle Rubza, I like it. You have brought all the good stuff with you, and every time you come, I know it's a good time.
Hey, man, so good to see you again. How you doing?
Oh, it's good to see you too.
Good.
You're doing good. I'm doing good. Everybody's going to be doing good after this because this is such an inspiring recipe that you've brought along, right?
You know, the idea is always that if you can find these nice, simple recipes, but that's got a lot of punch, lots of flavor, those are the ones that sort of, I think that people replicate and make over and over again. Well, chicken pasta we make a lot, don't we?
We do.
I enjoy making it.
We do, but I don't like the fact that we do it the same way over and over again. Look, yeah, we enjoy it because we eat it, but like, if there's a new way to do it, I say bring that on, brother.
Now, you see, that's... For me, it's different, not maybe in terms of a lot of new ingredients. Yeah. It's really just how you prepare it.
How you create that.
Because I think a lot of the flavor you can either lose or gain in just in the way you make it, in the preparation, and also how you cook it. So we're cooking the chicken different.
Okay,
you know,
because
normally
I wanted to ask you, what, did you forget to slice up the chicken, sir? Like, what's going on, chef?
No, I didn't, actually. You know, when I make for my kids at home, and I mean, I think when we cook chicken, we want it to be nice and moist, don't we? I mean, that's what we're after.
That's the main thing.
And the chicken fillet, because it's obviously very lean, it can dry out very quickly and easily, and that's the cut that we normally use in pasta and in most dishes.
Yes.
So what I do is I brown it, as I'm doing here now. It's got like a medium-high heat, so I've got some color on it, just olive oil, seasoning, salt and pepper. And then what I normally do is I switch off the pan, or I can put it to very low.
Okay.
And then I put a lid on it.
So this is the essence of this for me. Okay, so never mind the fact that you really are doing everything that you can and need to do in order to keep it nice and moist. It's that you are cooking it whole because you want to retain that moisture.
Yeah, so if you...
I think that's smart.
So think about it. If you cook it whole, you seal it. So sealing is basically keeping all the juices inside. Yeah. Then what I'm doing, I'm switching off the heat. There's now residual heat in the pan.
Correct.
So that kind of gentle cooking kind of keep all that moisture inside. Because normally when you cook it high heat, it gets like, it expands and then it starts to lose. As soon as it sort of cools down, it starts to lose all that moisture. So if you do
it's a raisin, it's a dry raisin.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it sounds like I don't know if it sounds complicated, but it's not really that complicated.
It's not complicated at all. I think it's a simple way of making sure you retain moisture in that way. Okay, so what's next from that?
Okay, so here, you know, it's a bit of spicy in the morning. I've added some green chilies.
But I can
my favorite. Some peppers and some onion. Just kind of sweeten the onion a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, look at this. Once it starts almost like catching at the bottom of the pan, you know how much flavor that is lying down there. So
but you know, as you do that, as you turn and flip each piece, I can smell flavor. If you could smell flavor, it's all just coming through heavy. I love that.
And so there's a bit of garlic in there. So I'm just going to add our all gold pasta sauce to that, tomato and garlic pasta sauce.
Oh yeah.
And that will just sort of bind everything together.
So besides getting the moisture going, what are some of the other sort of like commonly made mistakes when people make pasta?
I think a lot has to do with high heat, you know, so first of all, I mean, I'm not even going to go into how you cook your pasta, so we can talk about al dente and all that type of stuff. But for me, it's working on every single element that goes into the pasta dish to create flavor like that. And the mistake that people make is adding everything together in a pan,
so it becomes
mixing
one.
it, and it becomes one. And you know, like caramelizing the onions, giving it some more flavor, the garlic, you know, just building flavor from the bottom up.
I must say, one of the things I really do enjoy about you and all of your work that we have seen over the years, and you do this so well, you've mastered it, is the ability to create an experience, a flavorful culinary experience from each and every single ingredient or layer of your dishes. And I think that's a special thing to do, but certainly what you're doing here is you are showing us that we are all capable and able of making that. Can we use any pasta?
Look, that's the beauty of it all. Obviously, when you make certain dishes like mac and cheese and all of that, you're going to use, you know, macaroni. But I play around with using different pastas for similar dishes sometimes, you know? Bolognese, you don't only have to use spaghetti. I mean, I like to use pappardelle, you know, pappardelle, like the wider pasta, for example. So there's many, you know, different things that you can do.
Okay, so what we've seen Chef Ruben Riffel do here is we've seen him really create each layer and make that an experience on its own. It does sound like a process that would take you long, but it certainly will not be taking long. Now we're getting the chicken that's coming out of the pan.
Now we're getting the chicken. So normally what you'd do is you'd want it to sort of cool down maybe a little bit longer. Because as it cools down, it sort of obviously keeps that the moisture inside better. But I'm just gonna, well, I just need a knife quickly.
Don't you worry about that. A knife will be coming your way. And while we get you the knife, please go on expressoshow.com to get your hands on the recipe. It is expressoshow.com. All the ingredients are there. And Fatties and Monies really have certainly made our pasta nights or pasta days so much easier. Don't forget that you can also win extra big with Fatties and Monies Waza Pasta Wednesdays by standing a chance to win 2,000 Rand every day. 2,000 Rand every day, plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. Whew, I love it. Got your full attention yet? Well, listen, for all the details, you can go on to Fatties and Monies on their social media. Good luck. This is a fantastic one. But I'm seeing you doing something else very, very interesting there. So what are you doing now?
Well, those are just the kind of, I'm just sealing the inside a little bit again because, you know, if I'm going to just add it in there,
then it's all going to be pointless.
All the juices will come out again. It's just a quick process, so that's going to go in there.
Okay, simple for everybody at home. Go on to expressoshow.com. This is going to be a really good one. That's what the final product looks like. It looks absolutely amazing. Enjoy creating those pasta moments with Fatties and Monies. Thank you, Chef.
Fatties and Monies Waza Pasta Wednesdays. Bravo to you. Stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand every day, plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. See in store for details. T's and C's apply.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. The praises are continuing right here, and we can never be discouraged by a midweek gospel performance, and especially one coming from Trevor Malgas. Now, he's here to perform for us once again, and this is his first single. It goes by the title of Jesus Red Me. Take it away.
Zijn bloed maakt mij vrij. Waarvan voor mij ik bemin dat die kruis. Ik weeg voor die kruis. Jezus red mij. Daarbij die kruis. Oh, hey, vol haar. Die kan verklaar. Jesus op die troon, deur liefde bekroon. Sy bloed maak my vry. Sy lewe neer, stort hy sy bloed vir my, bewerk hy my vryheid, maak hy my vry nou, daar is hoop vir my, daar is verlossing vir my, daar by die kruis.
Trevor Malchus, once again, the power in your voice is incredible. That range all the way down to the soft notes of the angels. You had it all, and you made us feel like we were in heaven, man. I can't thank you enough. And Mzansi, don't go anywhere. One more performance coming at you in just a bit. Lovely stuff.
right, listen up. It's time to let the hunt begin in Easter's most exceptional game. We want you to claim your digital beacon Easter bunnies when you scan the QR code and download it today. These digital bunnies are awesome. They're collectible, they're tradable, and yes, they're a whole lot of fun.
Now remember that as with all good things, there's only a limited number to give away. So grab yours now and don't miss out on all the fun. Let the hunt begin.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show on S3. Yes, we're going to keep reminding you for this entire week, Easter is around the corner.
Yep.
And don't be spent this Easter with game when it comes to your holiday camping and road trip essentials. Mzansi, let's be honest, with the number of long weekends we have coming up this month, a camping adventure or even just a road trip with the whole family should 100% be on the cards. But it's completely understandable if you're not sure what essentials you should be looking for. That is why we have decided, myself and Uncle Tabsy and Game have decided to help you out and round up your top suggestions from Game.
And look, they've got some really top suggestions. And although wood, let's start there, is often the preferred choice for avid bride cooks in South Africa, guess. Okay, that's the girl of the moment. It's got plenty of benefits for cooking, for camping as well. It's often most cost-effective and efficient. Now, you can now get your hands on your own Mega Master Sizzler for, wait for it, only 5,999 at Game for instant heat.
Love that.
Wow,
Gas
how's
is
that?
the moment right now. But if you're also new to the world of camping, you may be unsure of what you need to take with you to have a pleasant experience. So taking a tent is the obvious thing to do, Uncle Tabsy, if you didn't know that.
No, I know that. Yes.
But have you considered extending your camping comfort zone with a camping gazebo? Now, although it is primarily used for camping, this Camp Master unit for only 1,499 Rand also comes with 2 classic chairs. You can find its usage in backyards for a range of outdoor events as well. So
makes me want to go camping right now. So this Easter Game is on the #1 destination store list. It's the only one that should be on your store list for that particular purpose for all of your Easter holiday purchases, with store opening hours from Monday to Friday from 9 till 6, Saturday from 9 to 5, and Sunday and public holidays. Listen to this one. Sundays and public holidays from 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 p.m. You don't want to miss out on these unbeatable deals. Go out there and show us that you've got game.
And you don't want to miss out right now because we're also going to be playing a game with Trevor
I'm going
Malpas.
there now.
Guess the song.
I'm going now.
Go.
Time now to have a little bit of fun and games. In fact, we're going to play one of our favorite games now with our artist this morning. Trevor Malpas is here, so we've got to put him through his paces. And we're going to play a little game called Guess the Song. Dun, dun, dun. I make it sound very dramatic. It's not actually that dramatic.
It can get quite dramatic.
Well, he can get quite dramatic. So I think that's what he's wanting you. Okay, so this is how it works, gents. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play just 5 seconds of an absolute banger tune. You should know them, okay? And then you've got to guess the song name and the artist who sings it. And then we'll play you a little bit more, just to give you a bit.
Okay, we don't have to sing. Oh.
You feel free to sing if you want to, my
that'll
friend.
be for Trevor.
I'll tell you what, I'll give additional points for performance.
Oh, okay.
It's all up.
I've heard you sing. I think
here's the kicker. No, I think he's got the musical chops. I'm telling you, he can certainly dance. So you're going to have 15 seconds to choose, which is going to go very quickly. All right. So it's going to get intense. Are you ready?
Yeah, bring it on.
Baby.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go for it. We're going to start with our first song, which is an absolute cracker. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
So who wants to go first?
It's unfair because we've had this particular performer on the show very recently, so it's fresh in our minds, man. Any ideas?
Okay, do you want to go? Or should I? Because I want it.
Okay, you can go. I'll give you.
It is Zakes Bantwini featuring, it's Osama. Zakes Bantwini with Osama.
The best collaboration of all time. Absolutely love it.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. I'll give you that point, my friend.
Yeah. Hey. But you know, no one can sing the lyrics, eh? Because it's not a language. It's not an actual language. He did say.
Really?
Just like,
it's just
he created it.
Random songs.
So, yeah. So,
interesting.
I mean,
because he is that creative. Absolutely love it. Okay. Ooh, let's see if there's a bit of romance in that heart there. Here is our next 5-second teaser.
Let's just turn down the
on, Trevi.
It's my turn.
Yeah, no, it's your turn. Go for it.
That's Versace on the floor. Bruno Mars.
Can you sing us a line?
Ooh. Not Bruno.
Let's just come on, Trev. You can do it. Aggie Versace on that. Hey.
Beautiful. What a cracker tune, man.
He holds back. He holds back.
Okay, now.
Oh, okay, girl. Hey.
I told you, the voice comes with a warning, dude. I've told you, man. That sound check, I dropped my coffee, it was crazy. All right, so this next one is actually one of my favorite tunes, believe it or not.
Okay.
Hey. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, but I've come for real.
That was not bad. That wasn't bad.
That's Outcast, yeah? Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson. Perfectly done. Let's hear a bit of that tune.
Wow. The producers went through the archives for this one. Wow, what a blast from the past.
They went deeper.
A classic, an absolute classic. Okay, from a classic to another OG, in fact. Let's see if you can get this one either. With your R&B roots somewhere there, you might hear.
Hey. Shame you don't have to sing it, just the artist.
I'm trying to get to the song.
He's manifesting.
He's breathing.
He's summoning.
It's Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Right?
50% of the way there.
Name of the song?
I don't know the name of the song, actually.
Family Affair.
There we go. Boom.
All right.
Drop it like it's hot.
You're definitely an 80s baby, aren't you?
Definitely. I love my R&B.
Yeah. She's a queen, man. Oh, I love that. You guys are doing brilliantly. Well done, man. I thought that one was going to catch you. Okay.
Okay.
This is a massive hit for this particular artist.
Tell me it's current.
I want more berries and that summer feeling.
Okay, it's a giant melon that we eat in summer.
Watermelon, watermelon, sugar.
High, yes. And who sings it? Come on, he's an ex-boy band member.
Justin Timberlake.
No, he's more current.
Oh,
he
I'm bad at that, eh?
Oh, you know, man, you're going to be upset when you don't get this right.
Malik?
No, the other one.
Zayn?
No, the other one.
Oh! Who is it? Clues.
It begins with an A.
Harry Styles?
There's the one.
Yes, I thought so. The tone, yes, that's it.
And I think he is destined for almost greater solo success than with the group. Absolutely awesome, man.
This song is so
That's great music.
Oh, Mr. DJ, what a playlist today. Thank you so much. Can I have a round of applause for both our candidates? I can see where all the musical influences come from. Your voice was amazing today. Well done, buddy. It's the puffer. Gives you that extra little bit of confidence. Were you singing along? Oh, I hope so. If you weren't, I can guarantee you will be. Trevor Malchus is going to be performing just for you in just a moment. And I'm going to warn you, sit down, because he's going to knock you off your feet. Stick around.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropica Island of Treasure. And we're going big!
Buy a Tropica, find your code under the cap, and stand a chance to win loads of instant prizes. Plus, if you find the treasure under the cap, you will win one of 10 big prizes. See pack for details. Tropica, nothing smooth.
Yes, Mzansi, we are back and are reaching new levels, especially with our gospel singer this morning, as well as songwriter going by the name of Trevor Malgas. Now, he's Namibian born and now is living in Johannesburg, but his passion about reaching people and spreading hope through music is on top of the list. And if you've been watching the show this morning, then he has done exactly that, because our spirits are absolutely lifted and we are ready for one last performance. So here he is, the man himself, with this song titled Total Praise. Enjoy. What can I say about that other than amen, brother? I can't thank you enough. You are truly gifted. And one thing that I'm so happy about is that you're using that gift for a bigger purpose, and that's sharing the love and allowing us to reach the divine. And man, you've done an exceptional job. What was it like being on stage?
It was great, man. It was great. Always fun being here, and thanks for having me. I appreciate you and the Expresso team. Awesome to be here.
Well, I think Mzansi definitely appreciates you. That was absolutely magic. Trevor's musician and musical magic is, of course, something that we can't doubt. And what a performance, man. Thank you. Keep your eyes on this name because he's going to continue to entertain and allow us to reach higher levels.
What a way. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Trevor Malgas,
I did warn you about the voice.
No, you told me, and like the whole time, I knew it was coming.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, great show today.
It has been so fantastic.
On the way tomorrow. Who's stepping into our studio tomorrow, guys?
Anga Makubalo. Nat Music is stepping in. He's the official host of Tropica Island of Treasure.
Man.
Look at that. He's going to be joining us tomorrow, and we're going to have lots of fun and games with him. Hopefully, he can tell us about Saturday.
He's one of those guys.
No boxing gloves.
Yeah.
None of it tomorrow.
You did so well, so we'll tip our hats for that, of course, but a major coup being the brand new host of the All-Star season of Tropica Island of Treasure. I think he's going to be an amazing host. And he kind of adds to the aesthetic because they're all so unbelievably good looking and fit and just crazy beautiful.
He's been on the show as well, so, you know, he's going to be, it's going to be a very interesting layer that's going to be bringing through. But that's happening tomorrow here on your Feel Good Breakfast show, so make sure that you make it a date with us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was the person that I interviewed to get this job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the person, he was my celebrity that I interviewed.
And was he difficult? Was he easy?
No, he was the most nicest person ever on screen, off screen as well. So tomorr's going to be a bit of a reunion.
Be a full circle moment. We absolutely love it. Guys, thank you so much to everyone who's joined us this morning. Love you guys. Love you guys just as much. We'll see you bright and early. Adios.
Ciao.
Here's to the sweet taste of time off, celebrating the lust of summer, and to family memories made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Like this, and then pull out.
Watermelon and sugar high. Watermelon and sugar high.
Stops.
Yes. Okay, you see.
Rolling for 2 minutes. Rolling audio.
Like there is nothing.
There is nothing quite like the show on TV, so make sure you tune in every weekday from 6 till 9 a.m. If it's not to see these beautiful faces, it's to experience the love. And never forget how much we love you.
We do. We love you.
Love you guys as well, most of you. One of you.
Whatever.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, very nice.
Bridge the Gap Annual Fund.
Thanks, team. Cool.
I'm going to change. Can we go?
Thank you. Let's just do yours.
Okay,
Can
cool.
you use your mic?
Watermelon
You can.
sugar.
Well, it's not really my mic pack. I know it's got my name on it,
I'd like
but...
to add to your profile. Yeah, like...
I'm ready. We're just gonna do this VO quick. It's a VO. Okay, guys, everybody, quiet. Shh.
3, 2.
Try the new. Guys, rolling on sound.
I'm gonna sing voiceover.
Try the 4 new Willard's Crinkle Cut limited edition flavors. More crinkle in your cut. Try the new 4 Willard's Crinkle Cut limited edition flavors. More crinkle in your cut. Try the 4 new Willard's Crinkle Cut limited edition flavors. Try the 4 new Willard Crinkle Cut limited edition flavors. More crinkle in your cut. Willards. Try the 4 new Willard's Crinkle. Try the 4 new Willard's Crinkle Cut limited edition flavors. More crinkle in your cut. Try the 4 new Willard's Crinkle Cut limited edition flavors. More crinkle in your cut.
Cool.